Welcome, guys. Welcome. Happy New Year. I know it's now a week in, and I know that I think it's technically when I did the last ChatTactic, it was the last day of the year for most of you. It was my New Year's Day at the time, I think. Anyway, welcome, and we'll sort of get into it, I guess, today. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about. In fact, I'm not even prepared. I was madly just trying to change the thumbnail just so I could have something that would say 2025 on it, and so I've only just uploaded that. Took me longer to fart about with that than I thought it would. Anyway, welcome, guys. Hi, Battle Mode, and hi, William. Yeah, so this is going to be just a completely random. I've got no idea what to talk about. I will just open up. I do have like a sheet that I open up on the other side. That I'll just make sure that I've got all my ChatTactic stuff in there, because we will have giveaways today. We didn't get a chance to do the giveaway last week, and I just want to make sure that I've got that just sitting there ready to roll. I've got a few of these that, I've got a few that I'll be able to do over the coming weeks. So yeah, welcome. And what else should we talk about with this one? Actually, one of the last week, one of the prizes wasn't claimed. So I will probably mention that once we get a few people in, just in case that person is around. Otherwise, it will go back into the prize pool. So I will just mention that. I'll have to double check my emails as well, just to make sure. If ever you win a prize and you do send me an email and you don't hear back from me for about 24 hours, it means I've probably missed your email. So email me again. I don't ever feel bad about doing that. Just that I only check my emails but once a day, and I get so much spam email. I often miss things, so I will. It could be user error for all I know. Hi CB and Team Games. Hope everyone is doing well. So yeah, I actually was just madly trying to get my thumbnail done, so I didn't even set up all what I normally have set up. So I'm just going to go across my bookmarks and start to grab all the different bits and pieces. So I usually have that one open. Oops, and I normally don't do that. I'll just go back to that one. Hopefully it'll remember what's there. Yep, that's okay. Sorry, I'll just, this is the stuff I normally do 10 minutes before I start, and I didn't do it this time. So I'll grab that one, and also grab just Steam, because we'll probably end up being in there quite a bit today, I would imagine. Hi Dom UK. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and the New Year period as well. That's I hope it was good for everyone. Oh, here we go. Civ 7. Maybe we can talk about those sorts of games as well. There's sort of, I don't think there's any specials on at the moment. I know that Slytherin still, I think, technically has their like, I think that they're still technically with some giveaways, or not giveaways, but some specials on their product. I don't know if it's in Steam. Let's have a quick look at Distant Worlds. That will let us know what's going on through here. No, it's not 73. That won't be anything off there. No. So there's really nothing. We're just now probably looking at forward ahead. We're seeing behind the curtain. Yes. I thought you meant my green screen for a second in there. I thought, oh, hang on, it's a drop down or something. But yeah, it's funny. I should revamp my whole, like, my ChatTactic area. I should actually make a little pretend studio for myself for me to sort of sit in, so it looks different than just the standard background. But to be honest, I'm too lazy to do that sort of stuff, so I won't bother with any of that. Right. Well, I don't know really even where to start, to be honest. So I was just trying to think if there was any other games that people had mentioned that I never got to. I've got like a list of games that I try to get hold of, and actually all of those. I'm just looking at all the games. There's actually some games in here that I, for example, picked up. I couldn't find the developers, and I did buy a couple of games during the Christmas period. One that I didn't actually ever try, which I was sort of this fantasy map simulator. I was sort of taken by it. People have recommended it. You guys have recommended it. I might just open it up. I have actually opened it. I just haven't played with it, and it looked interesting. It's very much like a watching an ant farm type thing, where it's a bit like the world, like a god game, like, where you not even where you do anything. So left click a country, shift left click to view the current population. So you end up with these, like it just generates a random map with different people on it. And so you can see there's wars starting, there's different people trying to sort of go across. It literally is just something you can sit back and watch. And I've got to say, I actually quite like these sorts of games. They're not even games, they're screensavers. Hi ZXM, how are you going? And hi Matthew as well, saying Happy New Year. Yes, hope everyone had a great Christmas period. Anyway, that's but this is I don't know much about this, but I thought it's something that I thought I could just. I'm happy to sit back and watch this sort of stuff, to be honest. And I don't know why I like this. It's nowhere near as detailed as WorldBox. WorldBox is the game I'm thinking of. WorldBox you can do a lot more in terms of the setup, but the overall look of this looks really quite nice. So you can sort of generate like a new map. So just delete the current map, and you can then sort of go in and do different things. This one's just generated this particular map. They just look really, really nice. Anyway, that was this was one of the things I did buy just because I couldn't find how to contact the developer on this one at all. Map appearance, you can sort of then change different looks to it as well. You know, the paper color, you can sort of just get rid of the actual paper color itself, boundary shadows, etc. It's just a nice, relaxing look at random stuff happening. There is, I think if you can click on these to sort of see what the how things are sort of operating, what's actually happening with the histories as well. So you can just sort of go and do this sort of stuff as well. Settings, back and through there. History. So you got the history sort of running forward, but it's nothing at all like WorldBox. But I thought I'd just quickly show it. It's sort of one of those things I probably would not make a video about it. Maybe I will if I have a close look at it to see what actually does go on with it. Actually, statistics. There we go. The different. We've got power, population, economy. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Pretty cool if you like these sorts of wallpapery things. You can actually go into the map editor as well, I think, and actually draw your own. Edit states, edit height. I'm not sure what that will do. Does that one allow us to? No, I'm not sure how to do it. Anyway, it's as I say, I haven't really played with it. It looks like the Dwarf Fortress World Generation. Well, it doesn't do the generation. It's literally just a map, but it looks nice. They're good-looking maps. If I just go back and generate another map, we'll then just sort of build different things. So the algorithm just looks really quite cool with the way it sort of does work. It's got like a little border around it as well. Anyway, that's I won't worry about that one. Let's just get rid of this. We'll exit the game. So that was Fantasy Map Simulator. That was actually recommended by a couple of you, and I do like those sorts of things. But does it compare with WorldBox? No, it doesn't. Let's have a look at WorldBox. WorldBox is a game that I had meant to actually do a lot of content on because I really, really like this sort of style of thing. I told you that we'd be going off into wild tangents today. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I've got no real games on the horizon. Actually, one thing I should make is I'll put in an announcement that Battle Mode, Lucid Tactics, Richard York, and I don't know how Sean wants to be sort of called, but there's a group of us that have been putting together a podcast essentially as well, and so I'll sort of put more links out once we start to sort of get things finalised with that. Battle Mode's in here. He may actually have links that he would want to, he may be able to sort of place a link there already. I'm not sure when these are sort of going up, but anyway, that was pretty cool. We recorded one just the other day, and so that'll be something that'll be fairly regular, and so we'll start to sort of maybe even just point that way when we do these ChatTactic streams, just to sort of show you. As another sort of thing where there's a bit of discussion, and that was very, very natural discussion. I've got to say, even though there was 5 of us in the actual podcast, it worked very, very well. I was actually really quite. It was good fun. It was good banter, a little bit of picking on Battle Mode there as well, which was always fun. Anyway, WorldBox. I'll just go and close this tip and just get into it. So WorldBox is again like one where you actually can zoom right in this case to sort of see different things that do go on, and it does generate randomly like an actual world, and you can build this one yourself, but it allows you to just do a lot more. So For me, probably WorldBox is a better way to do it. Not sure where the populations are. I don't think there's any in through here. If I can go and generate whole new worlds. I won't spend much time with any of this stuff, but I can go into civilizations. I can sort of start to drop in various peoples. Actually, I'm not even sure where that actually is. Is it this one here? Yeah, this is the animals. You've got humans, elves, orcs, and dwarves. If we sort of maybe place some dwarves in around here, and they'll just build their own grouping. I'll just get some orcs up and through here, and maybe another orc tribe over through this other side, and they'll start to also then build their own empires and start to just build it all up. This game I love. It's not even a game really. Just get them up to similar numbers. There we go, 11 each. And so we end up with kings that will then sort of be wandering around as well. They'll start to develop as a civilization, so they'll start to sort of build things up. But this is a really cool little game. They'll end up going to war with each other, and so there's a whole lot of different stuff you can do with this. So you can see they're expanding. That's the king wandering off, probably killing something, I would imagine. And of course, with this one, you've then got different sorts of beasts you can bring through. So you can sort of bring in cold ones, demons. I think there's dragons as well. There's crocodiles. Where's the dragons? Maybe further over. There's even snowmen. He knows nothing. Okay, let's pop a couple of snowmen down. What will they do? Will they go and attack? Yep. And freeze the humans. And so they're making frost locations, so the humans are now being attacked by snowmen. Anyway, I love this game. So Chris is saying, WorldBox, what a coincidence. I bought this 2 days ago. It's like a fantasy version of Distant Worlds. It sort of is, except that you're not really in control of anything. It is purely a simulation where you come in as in God mode and put in super pumpkins, for example, and let them sort of go off and kill humans. Oh, in this case, killing dwarves. So the super pumpkin it's just for, I enjoy this. Then you've got the year disasters and things that you can just then set up as well. But you can see there, they're starting to now build up civilizations. Here comes the Frosties. They're not taking on the humans. The humans are sort of rebuilding up their group. They're only down to 7 population. How are the orcs doing? They're still at 11. Starting to build their towns up. It's a great little game. And it's one of these games that you can essentially just watch what happens over the course of what actually does happen with it. But it's a really, really cool simulator. There is a dragon. I'm not sure where I've got where the dragon actually is. These are all nuclear bombs. There's an atomic bomb. So there's atomic bombs falling. Bang. Just wipe out that area. I don't know why it dropped heaps of them. Maybe just be spawning rather than single drops. Again, there's probably a setting I can actually use for that one through there. Robot Santa, so we can throw that one in. There he goes. He will then destroy things. Bang. Spreading good cheer. I should have played this over Christmas. Anyway, that's what that was there. Just saying, a totally pointless game that's very enjoyable to take part. Yes, it is. And Matthew's saying it looks a bit like Populous with the God mode style. It sort of is, except in this case, you really are just watching. In fact, you can see through here, there's actually now a group of dwarves have now broken off and built Rocky Omrum with just 3 of them. And so they're now potentially either going to become friendly with this other group or do something different there. So it's it's very, very cool the way it does work. Anyway, that's WorldBox, which I don't even know why I showed that one. But I've meant to do content on that one. There's a lot of these games that I've meant to do content on. So Battle Mode's saying these types of games are fantastic if you've got the imagination and energy to make them work for you. Yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. So and it's saying it's pretty different to Populous mechanic, more of a sandbox game where Populous had a definite goal. Actually, Battle Mode, I don't know if you were listening before. I mentioned the meta abuse podcast that we had done, but I don't actually have any links for that. So is that something that we're putting out just yet, or is that something that we'll do later on? So yeah, Don UK saying yeah, it's a sandbox game, run to mess around with, but no goal. Yeah, it is cool, and I guess in one sense you can play Distant Worlds that way as well. You can actually sort of just have it as a almost as a screensaver and just watch what actually happens and do absolutely nothing and let the AI run it for you. I actually quite enjoy that in Distant Worlds as well. Again, to do that with Distant Worlds, maybe I'll even show how to do that as well. Yeah, so Battle Mode seeing we can link it. Sure, hang on. Okay, so I'll get Battle Mode to post the link and there, so you may want to have a look at that as well. So we'll just pop the link in there. Right, it's because yeah, I sort of end up not taking much notice of where things end up. To be honest, I'm pretty bad like that. I enjoy recording games. I enjoy sort of playing the games and stuff like that. But I don't. I've got games that I've even uploaded to YouTube that I haven't actually made public yet, which is yeah, sort of unusual. So anyway, so now it may Battle Mode. It may be that you may be stymied a little bit with putting the link up. If that's the case, if you maybe just want to Discord it to me, and I can then just paste it in there. But see how we go. So, and I won't know if Discord is up because I don't have it open on anything at this point in time. Episode recording is going up this week. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it was good fun actually. It was good fun recording that. So yeah, I've been Distant Worlds 2 going and watching the AI Conquer form. Yeah, it's. Let's have a look at that. I'll run that one now, and I'll show you how to do that if you do have Distant Worlds 2, which you should all have. It's an awesome game. It's the best Space 4X simulation game anyway. You know, it's like as a space simulator, it's just incredible. So Chris is saying, is it the standard feed Battle Mode on Explorminate? No, it's not an Explorminate thing actually. It was separate. Did you ever get around to relisting the videos that were unlisted? No, I haven't. That's another thing on my to-do list. I almost did it over Christmas. I had some time, and I was going to actually go and do that as well in what I thought was going to be my downtime. But then I ended up spending just too much time doing other things. So I had a pretty busy Christmas period, to be honest. And so I've had no real downtime to go back and do it, but I almost got fired up to actually think, if I sit down for a few hours, I'll probably be able to rattle through heaps of them. So I didn't actually get to do that. So it's Battle Mode saying it's separate to Explore Mode, but Rob's agreed to come on Meta Abuse and talk about Path of Exile too. Oh, there we go. That's good. So Team Games is saying, what's your idea of the perfect game? The perfect game for me, and the first thing that goes to my head is, what would I take? What one game would I take with me if I had to go and live on a desert island where there was no internet, but there was power, where there was a 240 volt plug into a palm tree? What game would I take with me if I had to live there for the rest of my life or something like that? And so the perfect game for me is the one game that I'd be allowed to take with me. So that would be the perfect game, and that's for me. What would it be? It would come down to Distant Worlds would be on that list. Age of Wonders would be on that list, and Dwarf Fortress would be on that list. Dominions would probably be on that list as well. So, but that would be the sorts of things that I would be. They're the sorts of games that I'm thinking. Of those games, how long could I keep on playing those games and enjoy it? And if I had to then cut it down, so that's only 4, isn't it? I've only got 4 in there. That would be so that would be the one thing. So the perfect game would be the one game that you can play for the rest of your life and enjoy it. And I would think it would come down to Age of Wonders and Dwarf Fortress, to be honest, in those sorts of senses. I think if Distant Worlds had more variation in its gameplay, that would be probably another. It'd be hard to pick between that one as well. Dominions, I think I would get sick of that after a little bit of time, but I don't think I'd get really sick of Age of Wonders. I would have to say Age of Wonders 4. I would have to say that. So if the rule is you can take one game with you for the rest of your life and go and live on a desert island with a with a plug into a palm tree that does actually run your computer, but there's no internet. So yeah, it would have to be Age of Wonders for me. So yeah, Battlemode saying Dwarf Fortress would have to be in there. It would be it would be for me. It would be between those two, Age of Wonders and Dwarf Fortress. But I think I would be able to play Age of Wonders 4 quite happily for the rest of my life. Or maybe not really. But anyway, it certainly is, for me, that whole series is something I've just have to keep on playing. There we go. So Battlemode saying, for me, that'd be Conquest of Elysium 5. Really? You think you'd be able to play that for the rest of your days, playing on a desert island? Yeah, I don't know. I think also, yeah, I don't know. It's a funny one. What else did you guys come up with? There we go. Chris is saying most of my day was consumed with Zephon. I was even late to Christmas dinner. Oh, okay. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, Battlemode saying Dominion 6. Yeah, Dominion 6, I think I could play that for a long time, but I think I would get sick of that. Whereas I don't think I'd get sick of Age of Wonders 4. And I don't think I'd get sick of Dwarf Fortress. So, hi, Ridiculous. Reed. I'll just say Reed. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to screw it up. Here we go. Sean is in saying 1, CK3, okay, 2 RimWorld, and 3 RimWorld. Got 2 RimWorlds back in there. Does that mean that it overcomes the number 1 CK3? CK3 doesn't have enough replayability for me. So RimWorld, I can see that. I can see that being one on the list. Absolutely. Dom UK saying, I just enjoy the tropical island. Well, it's sort of one of those things where, you need time of an evening to fire up the computer and play dust the sand off the keyboard and actually get into playing one of these sorts of games. So Chris is saying this will get me banned, but it would be Master of Orion 2. No, not at all. Like, it's one of those things where I think that if you went, like, if we're talking about the game you could keep on playing for the rest of your life, and that's perfectly valid, I think, to go way back to find games that you just would keep on playing and playing and playing. Hi Michael, how are you going? And CB is saying, I'm having trouble getting into Conquest of Elysium 5. Seems like a lot of waiting for the next turn thing just to make any progress. Yeah, I know what you mean. I enjoy it. I don't like how random it is, to be honest. That's the one thing. That's why I like Dom more than Conquest of Elysium. But I'm saying, but it'd be the non-Steam version of Dwarf Fortress because I need the proper adventure mode. See, I don't. The Steam version of Dwarf Fortress for me, as Dwarf Fortress, is unbelievably good. Matthew's saying I called it. Did you actually mention that before? I'll just have a quick squeeze back through. Did you mention it up there somewhere? I can't see your comment, but I'll anyway, Solaris is greater than Master of Orion. Says Team Games, or Solaris and Master of Orion. I'm not sure what the with the greater than symbol is. Whether you're meaning it's better than Master of Orion. See, Solaris, I would get bored with very quickly. Mike Ben saying, I'm here from the Dwarf Fortress from your Dwarf Fortress content. I'm going to have to check Distant Worlds and Age of Wonders. Oh yes. I will actually show you what's happened with. We're having such fun on Twitch with Dwarf Fortress, I've got to say. This has been unbelievable, this little run that we've got at the moment. It's great at the moment. It took a little bit of time to get fired up, which Dwarf Fortress often does. I'll open that up in just a minute. Because we can do anything today. We don't have any sort of real constraints about which way we're going. Yeah, Conquest with some rocks, says William. RimWorld would be a fun choice. Yeah, I think so. RimWorld you could keep on playing as well. Yeah, although being honest, playing RimWorld might be a bit too meta. Yes. Saying I meant to put Shadow Empires. Oh, okay. Yeah, Shadow Empires. Again, I think it would depress me. And it's funny you say those sorts of games. Like, I really love playing them, but could I keep on? The reason I love, and I've again chosen games that energize me, and Shadow Empires doesn't actually energize me. It's just a game that I enjoy playing. And the reason I love Age of Wonders so much, and I always have, like right from version 1 of the game, has been the colour choice and the way that they actually build the worlds. We'll open that as well. I'll show you what I mean when we get into that one. Because it is energizing to play that versus some of the other Fantasy 4Xs. Yeah, it's interesting actually. It's interesting when you think about the depth as to why a game is replayable for decades, and Age of Wonders is replayable for decades for me, and it would be, and it's that energy, the energy you get from the game itself, I think is really really important, and even like Distant Worlds 2, I feel inspired and alive when I play those sorts of games, whereas Shadow Empire, I love playing it. I love nutting it all out, but I don't feel energized by it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. So I'm quite OCD with the things that I do, and so it's when things are beautiful in the sense of colours and vibrancy. I do, but still being able to read what's going on, I really love it. Anyway, so Batman saying I'd have Shadow Empire on my list too. Saying I forgot that somehow. Yeah, see, the replayability of Shadow Empire is really really high, but probably not, it's a bit for me a little bit like Dom 6. It would be the actual gameplay wouldn't end up being interesting enough for me, I don't think, ultimately. So original intent saying Master of Magic for me, if I can play both classic and the newer one both. Yes, well, you can buy them as a kit. But no, it's got to be one game. It's got to be the perfect game. That was actually the stipulation. So the stipulation was the perfect game. So it has to be one. I think you'd have to choose one over the other. Team Games are saying if you like Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode, you should try Soul Ash 2. I've never tried that one actually. Original Intent saying I need to get Age of Wonders 4 and Dom 6 after the rave reviews from you guys. Oh yes. Look, there's so many great games. Like last year, I thought was like 2023. I thought was an incredible incredible year for games, and 2024 just kept on rolling on as well. Like there were so many great games that came out in 2024, and 2025 there's a lot of games coming up as well. So, and I haven't even really had a look at 2025 yet, as in any sort of sense, other than there were games from 2024 that aren't out yet that I'm looking forward to. Tim Games saying it's fun. I was waiting to get back after the Conquest update. I don't know. It could be hard to implement naval mechanics. Naval mechanics. I'm sort of stuck now with not wanting to play Shadow Empire until we start getting naval mechanics. It's I think that would be, for me, that's really important. Like for Shadow Empire, it's gone way too long now. I almost wish that the DLC hadn't been released without actually having really thought through naval power. I feel you get away with that when you've got a handful of people that play the game, but Shadow Empire is becoming a fairly big mainstream style game, and I think that people expect a bit more in terms of that sort of development. I'm being harsh about that, but that's just how I feel about it. Battleman's saying, I get what you mean, Daz. I'm like that too. I think gamers all tend to be a little bit OCD, or a little bit we have a way of things that we enjoy. So Team Game saying Shadow Empires with Age of Wonders 4 graphics. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And Vex is saying I play a few turns of Shadow Empire every day. Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it actually. That would be fun. Dominic K is saying Dwarf Fortress for me it's got multiple modes, but Dwarf Fortress from 2035. Oh, okay. So you're delaying your trip to this tropical island. This well, you're gonna be shipwrecked there. That's the thing. So you won't know when that's going to happen. What do we get up to? So Factoria for me, latest DLC is amazing. People keep on telling me that I've got to. In fact, we spoke about that on the Meta Abuse podcast. So when that one does come out, I'll definitely make sure I share that link so that you guys can sort of see that as well. People saying, hi Daz, thanks for all the gaming videos. Wish you only the very best of luck in 2025. Thanks for that. Look, it's I'm quite busy now. I've now sort of taken on pretty much a full-time role with another company, like just doing graphic design, and I'm loving doing that, but it does mean it's cutting a little bit into my gaming time. Just a little bit. It just means I'm like when there's a lot of work on, I don't get a lot of time to do recording, so that will impact the amount. And it did actually last year as well. Like I got the got the job, what, 7 or 8 months ago now, and then I sort of had like a flu that really knocked me around in terms of my sleeping habits. So I wasn't waking up as early as what I normally do, and so there was a period in the middle of the year where I just didn't do much gaming content. And when I looked at the difference between 2024 and 2023, I ended up playing a lot less hours of games because of that. So anyway, I'm thinking 2025 I should be getting back up to speed with the games. I'm thinking, but yeah, there was a big period in the middle of. In fact, it's sort of that little flu-y type thing that I had actually that was making me quite tired. It did extend for quite a few months, which was sort of funny. Okay, where did we get up to? So Michael's saying, a shame they didn't do more of Mountain Blade 2. It could have become a great game. Yeah, look, I think it's hard with those sort of games. You know, like it's things are a bit difficult with them. Yeah, Tim Games is saying the DLC is pretty controversial. I'm not sure which DLC you're talking about. Whether that is, yeah, I'm not sure which one you mean. Yeah, we've spoken about the Oceania DLC, we've spoken about Factorio DLC, so I'm not sure which one you mean. But yeah, so Vex is saying, I turn Oceania off in my Shadow Empire games. I keep it on, sort of, but I don't push those ocean worlds. If we had navies, I would push them, but I don't. Dom is saying, it's not OCD, I just have standards. Chris is saying, would you think that Master of Magic reboot would be good with a Cast of Magic mod? I think that that would make the new Master of Magic perfect. I agree with you, actually. I think that they did a lot of really good stuff with Master of Magic when they remade it, and they made it ready for exactly what you're talking about, to extend it and expand upon it. And with Muha Games now sort of really stepping back from the development, I don't know what the future is for Master of Magic. We might have a look at that actually as well, because I really hope that it's just phase one of something great for Master of Magic. I think it's a great base. There's so many things that need to be fixed in Master of Magic though that really weren't great from a user experience perspective. So I think that, like, being really harsh about it and looking at what, for example, now that we've got Age of Wonders 4 and what they did with Age of Wonders 4 compared to Master of Magic has a lot of work to do on that user experience, user interface aspect to get it really, really thumping along. You can forgive it because it's a small team that worked on it to a large degree. And same with Shadow Empire. You can forgive these different things, but ultimately, it does need to catch up with itself, and you know, and essentially focus on those really important things. And they really are so important now in this modern era. You know, like with gaming, user experience, I think is become exponentially important with games. So Connor Sam is saying the Xenox Plus Boscara update should be out soon. I'm excited for it. Yeah. Actually, I'm looking forward to that. And so Dom UK, so gaming always comes first. Food, shelter, and warmth is secondary. Yes, I know what you mean. Anyway, I'll show you how to play Distant Worlds. The reason we've got Distant Worlds open was because I was going to show you how to actually play it as a simulation rather than an actual game. So if you just go in, there's a few little things you have to change in this. There's something that it does tell you in the game now when you go and do it. If we start a new game, I'll just go into, because you can do this even with existing games you've got, and I'll just go straight through and I won't worry about anything at all. But if we start the game in through here, so the first step is to start a game. Chris is saying that Age of Wonders 4 is an almost perfect product. Very little bugs that I can see. Yes, and they really focused on the user experience. Really focused so heavily on it. You've got games like Gal Civ as well, which is the replayability with Gal Civ is unbelievable. I mean, I'm blown away by what they've been able to do in their game. Like the combination of those of the aspects of each race, like to have 40 different things that dramatically change the game, and then you've got 2 of those for every single faction. means that you've got, what's that, 40 times 40 essentially combinations of different styles of gameplay in Gal Civ. So the replayability in that is through the ceiling, and also with the way you can set up now the various galaxies. I sort of hope that as they develop more for Gal Civ, that they do more work to really make those galaxies much more different. It would be cool to actually even have whole like sectors that are set up thematically to actually to be some sort of threat into the rest of the galaxy, the rest of the other sectors in Gal Civ. That would be pretty cool actually as well. So Original Tent saying agreed. Gal Civ 4 fits a niche so well. It really does. It's and again, when I start thinking about user experience and user interface, I think of Age of Wonders, because I think that's been exceptional, and I also do think of Gal Civ, and also Sins of a Solar Empire. Like the Stardock games, they're starting to really focus heavily on that aspect as well, as Paradox I think is as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of those two studios over the coming years, really. Battlemode's saying, Chris, you'll enjoy our upcoming pod with Daz on Age of Wonders 4. Yeah, I know everyone else hates the game except for me. We'll be talking to, I think. So it'll be defending the elves against these hordes. Here we go. We've got the Boscara. If we just get started back in through here, the way that to play the game, you can actually sort of play it a whole lot of different sorts of ways. You can actually turn cheats on and sort of see different things to a degree as well. You can change to different aspects. But if you go into to just watch what's going to happen with a game, if you go into policies at the back end through here, policy settings, advisors and automation, and if you just change this to rule in absence full, it will then do it, but there's still two things you have to do. When you do this, it means every decision is going to be made by the AI in the game, which is all you have to do in that side of things. And then the last thing you need to do is just press the escape key, go into settings, and it will then tell you in here what you then need to go and do. So suppress pop-up messages. So when turned on, prevents many types of blocking pop-up messages from appearing. Now this completely prevents blocking messages. You will also need to use the following exploration settings in Empire Policy. So you need to basically have no report for investigate ruins and investigate abandoned ships. So when you do suppress pop-up messages, it means that you can then not have, nothing's going to interrupt your game. It's just going to keep on playing. I won't do it because I'll forget to undo it. But the next thing you do need to go through is to you need to use the following exploration settings in Empire Policy. So investigate ruins also then needs to be done. So if we go back into the policy, I won't click on those, but if we just go back into here and we go into Empire, actually where was it? It's exploration. So investigate ruins and investigate abandoned ships. And so instead of prompt, you basically just have never. So those two things there, and then you'll be able to then play it where you don't do anything at all. It'll just play out. You can play it over days and just watch what actually happens to your empire over a long period of time, which actually would be, I should do a recording of that. Like that would be interesting to sort of get like a galactic view and just start to watch the interplay as the game sort of starts to do things. You know, you can play it at a fast pace, and so these things will still come up, but they'll end up sort of disappearing. Just dismiss those. But anyway, we're still going to get pop-ups, but they won't stop the game. Oh, hang on, this one is dismiss. I'm not sure why I've got these popping up. They should be. It is pausing with all of these. I didn't do this the suppression. So if I had suppressed, all of these things would then not come up at all. Anyway, that's playing Distant Worlds that way does mean you play it as a simulation, exactly like WorldBox. All right, let's delve out of that one. Just exit back out of the desktop. Now, what else? We're going to look at a few other games. We're going to look at Master of Magic. Master of Magic for me, and let's have a look at the comparison, for example, of Master of Magic versus Age of Wonders in terms of the worlds. And I can sort of show you what I mean by energized. I feel energized by Age of Wonders. I don't feel energized by Master of Magic. And this is the little things that games like Age of Wonders just do so damn well. open this. Actually, no, we won't open Steam. We'll just wait for it to open itself up. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. By the way, the overall look of Age of Wonders has been exceptional from version 1. In fact, if anything, this is probably the least energizing in terms of the overall look. So original Sensing Days, are you going to cover Foundation when it releases end of January? Or is that so? I don't know Foundation. Which game is that? Haven't heard of that one. Chris is saying I'm currently running Master of Magic with the Mythical Realms mod. Yes, that's a very good mod. Hi Diamond saying cheers dads in chat. Happy New Year everyone. Chris is saying okay, but yeah, that's okay. So we're just talking about the podcast. I'll look next week. I can go through and give you links and stuff like that as well. So I'll make sure I prepare myself a little bit in future. Today I literally was. I was right on the dot of the o'clock, and I only had just finished the thumbnail for this one for 2025. I'll probably redo it because in the end I was just like, quickly I got to rush and get it done. These always take a bit of time to load in. Okay. So original 10 saying Foundation. I have heard compared to Manor Lords. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, actually. There's a lot of games. I mean, maybe we look at the coming games. This is going to take forever. Actually, I should have realised that. It always does take a bit of time to load up. While that's loading in the background, we will have a look at some of the other ones. There's still some deals around. Elite Dangerous, 75% off. I never played that. Mecha Knights, don't know what that one actually is. It's very positive. That's interesting. Mecha Knights. No, I don't know. 2021. Too old. Chess Ultra. We've got their releases 2017. Yeah, okay, it's just chess. Just chess, but with 3D graphics. Okay, let's go and play. Let's have a look at strategy games. And we'll look at upcoming games. So hopefully we can do this one a little bit. Wingspan 50% off. Let's see. I've got to go and visit my relatives down in Victoria, like another state, at the end of the month. So we may be playing Wingspan as a tabletop, like the actual board game. My daughter has arranged with my nephew and a few other different people to have a board game day on one of the games, which I love. We just need a list. Give us a list. Dwarf games. Come on, where's our list? There we go. So we've got the popular upcoming. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, so Civ 7 coming out in February. I'm going to have to get hold of this one. Geez, that's expensive. That's Australian dollars. So Civ 7 coming out. I think that'll be good. Builders of Egypt. I keep on getting information about whether I want to play this or not. I just don't love these sort of games, and I don't know why. Chris is saying I've got Chess Ultra. It's very pretty. I'm a keen chess player outside of these games we all talk about. I enjoy chess, but I haven't played it for a long time. Did you try Urban Strife, Jagged Alliance with Zombies? I don't know if I've got that one, to be honest. I can't remember. There's a lot of games that I picked up that I played. If I played them at all, I played for very, very... I think Urban Strife was one. That was Microprose, I think. I'll have a quick look and see. I'll open up another Steam tab. Urban Strife, I think that was a Microprose game, which I had meant to play, I think. Urban Strife. Yeah, Microprose. Now, I should have that in that case. Yeah, it came out in December. Interesting. Mostly positive. It's 80%. That's actually okay. That's fine. That's good. It's early access. But yeah, I don't think I've played it. I should actually check and see if it's in my list. I'll just open up my other Steam library. This is my actual Steam library. Oh, Distant Worlds has completed an update. Let's go back to the library again. So, Urban Strife. Be interesting to see if it could have been lost. I actually had a few games where I actually I had the email sent to me with games that I was really looking forward to playing, and I missed them completely. There was one the other day that we were speaking about the. In fact, it was the DLC for God. Which one was it? Songs of Conquest. Yeah, Songs of Conquest. I had the key and everything from. I've been in communication with the dev in the lead up to the release of that for months actually, and then when it hit, he sent me the key, just before it came out, and I completely missed it. And then someone did mention that it was really good fun, and I just had not seen it, so I haven't played that one yet either. Urban Strife is not in my little list there, but it could be a non-installed game, as in that I just haven't put it in yet, or I have missed a key, I'm guessing. No, it's not there. Okay, so there's probably an email that I have missed, I would guess, because it was one that I was actually looking forward to. So that I'm saying, I wanted to get back into chess. I've not played it for years. I tried on an aircraft recently and it sucked now. Yeah, I know, it's sort of one of those things. The thing I don't like about chess, now that we've got all these other different sorts of games, is that we end up with so many games that take us into areas where it's not about knowing how to do the starts, whereas chess is all about the openings, and it's sort of I find it a bit too boring now to play. But okay, Age of Wonders. The thing I love about it, if I just go continue, for example, I just love the colours. It's very, very rich colours in the game. Everything is alive in Age of Wonders. Like it's just a beautiful game to play, and it's sort of, so it ends up being very, very let's just imagine that we were playing the whole game in this sort of mode with these sort of colours. This is fairly drab, and I would ultimately, it would drain my energy as I played the game. But because this is great having this sort of mode, but as we then go in and start to sort of look at different things, the actual immersion that you then get from the actual map itself, I find really energizing. I can play this game for hours and hours and hours and just absolutely love it all the time, just because of the overall look to it. It's the interesting thing that what they've done, like with Triumph Studios, they've always done it with Age of Wonders games, which is why I've just loved them all the time, is that they end up with these extremely rich colours and palettes that they actually have for their games. They even managed to get water that runs downhill and uphill in one go. I don't know if you can see that. I just noticed that. I'm thinking, that's interesting. It's all flowing to there, and then it's flowing down from the hill into here. There must be a hole. There must be a plug that needs to be plugged right on that hex there. Anyway, being facetious. That flows the other way as well. So it all flows different ways. Yeah, I think. Anyway, let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about the physics of the game. But I just see that the reason I can play this one for so long, going back to our desert island theme, so what games would I take to a desert island? I think I would definitely take this one, because I could just keep on playing it and playing it and playing it and just keep on enjoying it because of the overall look. Even the colours that they've brought in different things like autumn colours now to trees in some aspects. Then they've got other ones where they've now got sort of like other different types of trees down through here. So things chop and change a little bit in the game as well. And it's just, but the interesting thing for me, even though they've got this incredible palette, and I know that they put a lot of effort into doing this, and I don't think any other game in this genre really does it, but then the actual information that then is shown really stands out on top of something that's so rich, which is very, very hard to do. Like this is why I think this game, just like from a user experience perspective, is just at the top. Like there's nothing else that even comes close, in my opinion, in terms of just the balance of what they've done with the information. And they spend time to make sure that this works, so it's, for me, it's super immersive because of the ambience that they put into the actual game itself, but it's also, as a strategy game, there's a lot of information that is always clear. You always know what's going on with it, and so it's not as if things dissolve into each other, whereas nearly every other fantasy game, if I just pick up any other fantasy game and open it up, and I'll do that with Master of Magic, we don't have the same experience. And so if I just go Master of Magic is actually not a bad game if I just exit the game from there. Reason saying the river is magical. Don't try to explain it in mundane terms. There we go. Watergate 2025, says Dom UK. The seas to the east, I think the water is flowing correctly, says Dom UK. Yeah, maybe there's a little stream that's not on the map. We'll exit the game completely. So and I haven't opened up Master of Magic there for a long time. Yeah, open Strife. I'll have to check and see if I can find. I'm going to start a new list of games for 2025 on my. I've got just a little post-it notes. That way I can't write too many games. I can only just put a few at a time. But I will actually. I'll have a look for Urban Strife. It's a game I was looking forward to actually when I saw it. So I'm sure that there'll be an email there, but I just haven't actually got to it. Can you stack units in Age of Wonders 4 like in Master of Magic? To a degree, yes. You've got six different types of units. The thing, they're actually incredibly different games. And if I just go back to my desktop, and I haven't fired this up for a while, so hopefully this won't take too long to fire up. This one is another one I think can take a little bit of time to fire up. And there is some very good mods for Master of Magic as well that do a lot of changes. Me, myself, and I are saying, is there a mod for the latest Age of Wonders titles that removes the rewards from the babysitter quests? Be the first to build 3 units. I'm not sure, actually. Tim Grant saying they stack up to 6, but then multiple stacks can reinforce each other. Yeah, so you can have up to 6 in a stack, and then you can have 3 go into a fight, so 3 stacks. So you can have a total of 18 units that can go in, plus any magically summoned units that you can then bring in as well. So you end up with the battles are much better than they've ever been in Age of Wonders because of that constraint. It's always been stacks of 6. I think there may have even been stacks of 8 at one point, but stacks of 6 is what you end up getting. But it used to be anything that was touching the attack hex. So you could have stacks of 6 all the way around an attack hex and then go in with a massive army. And it was it didn't work anywhere near as well as what it is right now. I'll just see if I can load in a game. Where did we get up to? Yeah, turn 140. I'll just open this one up through here. God, it's been nearly a year since I've actually played the game by the looks. Just load that one in. I think that must have been when Muha Games sort of stopped development on the game. It would have been around here. And so I guess it's a little bit hard, but like in terms of being energized by a game, this isn't bad. But I do find that I just don't feel anywhere near as energized. Even the undergrounds, essentially you've got the mirror plane in Master of Magic, which is sort of like the underground in Age of Wonders. I still like this is again, it's very functional, but it's very gamey. Like you can see how it's this overall scale of things is fine for looking at hexes. It's much more wargamery because of the different things that are now actually on the game. The colours still look good. The information is still there. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but I don't feel energized by this. I don't like Age of Wonders. We had the rolling hills that sort of all melded in. We still had the information, whereas this is still giving us information, but we're not getting the same. It really is. The individual hexes are very, very different. I don't know. It's just a very, very minor thing, and not that they should change this, by the way. It's just for me. It's an aspect of it that is that really does work for Age of Wonders. In this case, certainly it's a nice game. It's still very, very colourful, which I'm thankful for. All the information is there as well, but it's just not as immersive for me as Age of Wonders 4 is. The gameplay is quite different as well in this particular game. In this case, we then have different sorts of stacks, up to 9 in a stack. So you can have different sorts of different combinations of units working together for the actual game. But it's a great little game, Master of Magic. It's a game that I've thoroughly enjoyed playing, and I really hope that they continue doing more with that one through there. If we have a look at the plane, how do we go to the next plane? View the mirror plane. Yeah, so the mirror plane for me, I do feel is very drab. And so even though from a gameplay perspective, I like playing on the mirror plane, if I had to play the whole game in the mirror plane, I would feel completely unenergized by the end of it. The Arcanus plane, like the world above, for me is quite friendly and so on and so forth. But you do tend to be wanting to play a lot of the game on the mirror plane if you can get there and do it. So so what are we up to? Stars in Shadow DLC Steam Rebalance mod is brilliant. Oh, I didn't know about that one actually, Dave. I mean, that's an old game now. That's another game that actually I feel energized when I play it. It's a beautiful game, Stars in Shadow. It's the color schemes in that are all they just work because of the way that game was built. The DLC Steam Rebalance mod. Anyway, let's quit out of this one. But I do hope that more happens with Master of Magic. Quit without saving. There we are. What do we get into? So I'll have to have a look at that one. Let's have a look and see. I said today we're just going to be going all over the place. So we've got Stars in Shadow. This is from what, 2017 or so? 27, and we also got the legacies in there as well. So if we go to 2017, wow, how's that? But this one, it is the game just looks fun. Like even the colors, like that light blue, is so different for a space game. It just and for 2017, it's quite a nice old game. If we go to Community Hub, have a quick look and see if we can find the workshop. There is no workshop. There's no workshop. Okay, so we don't actually have that one through there. Steam Rebalance mod. How do we get that one? Yeah, okay, Google Drive. I won't worry about it. It's too old. The game is too old. But it is interesting. Yeah, it's a game that I sort of would have liked to have seen more development on, to be honest, that one. All right, there's nothing that really makes you feel powerful until I've missed a few different things in through here. So, hang on. Chris is saying, "Hey, Daz, you missed my comment on Age of Wonders 4 and low graphics. I agree with you about the beauty of it." Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. I missed it. Sorry. Okay, remember stuff and I was saying these quests ruined Age of Wonders Planetfall for me because they make me chase the same things. Oh yeah, no, I don't. I don't have any sort of quests on. I just turn all them off, whether it be Gladius or any of the games. I hate those things. I absolutely hate them. They're fine to get you started, but yeah, I don't enjoy them. I just like to be able to play the game on the world that it gives me. So Dom UK is saying, I've got to say that Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode beta is looking much better than when I saw you play it. Yeah, I haven't played it since then. Actually, I was so disappointed with it. It was. I'll have to have another look at that, I think. Yeah, when it first came out, I thought, this is just not fun at all. I'd be surprised if it's much better than that, to be honest. I'd be pleasantly surprised. I will have to try it. I feel Master Magic had riskier gameplay, allows you to defeat or be defeated by superior tactics, and has some overpowered stuff that really fun to use. Yeah, look, again, very, very different games. I think that Master of Magic, compared to Age of Wonders 4, in terms of its gameplay, the better you were, the more you understood the game, the better you were at playing the game and making use of the different units and the spell combinations. I think in that sense, Master of Magic ends up going to be a closer game to Dominions than Age of Wonders in that sort of sense. I think I agree with you about that, but I think that Age of Wonders has got by far the best tactical aspect to it than any other game. Like I don't from any genre, I really can't think of any game that does tactical battles as well as Age of Wonders. And so I know what you're saying. It's like, for example, Dom 6, great for scripting, etc. Master of Magic, great for actually understanding concepts and then bringing them together to make them work. But Age of Wonders 4 is unbelievable when it comes to tactical battles, and I love tactical battles. So if you're not into tactical battles, then Age of Wonders is an okay game, like in terms of the the above world game. But as soon as you get into tactical battles, you've got to, if you make one mistake, you can have an army that you should win with that you end up being destroyed. End up getting destroyed just from moving to one hex, for example. So it's a very, very unforgiving game. But they do actually have a replay aspect where you can just keep on replaying until you sort of learn all those different things. So I think that Age of Wonders has got like a hard learning curve in terms of the tactical battles, but I find it so rewarding to play. Oliver's saying Happy New Year to you and Chad. Thanks, Oliver. Battlemode's saying Age of Wonders 4 is balanced and designed for multiplayer, despite nobody playing it multiplayer. It's balanced in that sort of sense, but I think it's super immersive. And I compare it back to Age of Wonders 3. Age of Wonders, for me, Age of Wonders 2 was a real high point in the series, but it used a matrix of what factions liked what factions. So if you were an elf, you hated orcs, for example. So you had, it's like the old 3x3 matrix from Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if it's still part of Dungeons and Dragons, where you had good, neutral, evil, and then you had down the other way chaotic, neutral, and ordered. And so they had that whole aspect working in the version 1 and 2 of Age of Wonders. In version 3, they realised that they had to somehow break that mould, and so I didn't like that. I much preferred that little matrix that they had back in the earlier games, but I got used to it in Age of Wonders 3. But in Age of Wonders 4, I think they've actually done a really good job now of actually sort of making it super immersive with the different cultures that you then choose and the different styles. So it's still a it's not as pure as it was as what Age of Wonders 2 was, but I think it works incredibly well. So Don UK is saying Age of Wonders feels like a board game to me, while Master of Magic feels like an actual world. Really, I would say both feel like board games, to be honest. I think, I don't know, for me they both feel like that. It's it's sort of funny. And Jake's is then saying, have you played Stone Shard? I think you would like it. Yes, I have played it. I said that's a game that's had some big updates fairly recently, I think. So I should actually go back and look at that one. WK saying, yeah, the mirror plane should be red. Actually, that'd be cool. So Bannerman saying, I do agree, Age of Wonders looks really nice. It's one of the game's strong points. I love Stars and Shadows too. It's fantastic. Yep. And Matthew saying Stone Shard is fab. Yes, it is that's a game that, again, the only reason I don't play that game is because the actual overworld is not random, or not very random. And so it's an interesting game. I love the actual gameplay in Stone Shard. I think that's a really, really cool way of playing the game. So Dave Flute saying it's in the discussion list. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So I'll just go back and have a look and see. Sorry if I've missed comments here, guys. Just feel free to spam things. Actually, the last thing you were talking about was adventure mode. But I'm saying I always find it odd that you don't like playing older games, so I generally prefer them to the newer ones. It's sort of funny. I look back fondly on old games, but when I play them, I just think, what the hell am I playing this for? Oliver Wiedemann saying Field of Glory. Actually, all of the Field of Glory games are incredible. I really resonate with the medieval era though. So I do really enjoy what they've done with Field of Glory. There is something coming from Field of Glory, and I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what the next iteration of Field of Glory is going to be. I'm sort of really hopeful it's fantasy, but it won't be, I'm sure of it. They're too into their historical accuracy for that to be a... I always joke whenever I'm sort of watching any of the Slytherin streams, and they're sort of talking about what's coming up, and they always talk about there's something coming for Field of Glory, but we don't know what it is yet. I always put in Field of Glory Lord of the Rings, because I think that would be awesome. But... I think that would be such a good way of playing Lord of the Rings. I would love that. Battleman saying Age of Wonders does have great tactical combat, but I want a spell I can wipe an army out in one go, and there's nothing like that in Age of. Yeah, so I prefer not having that, to be honest. So each to their own. Each to their own. I just think Age of Wonders is just such a perfect game. It's in so many different ways. Okay, so Lia's saying Age of Wonders great because you can auto and it's good. Yes, you can as well. You can, and that's the other way. You can play it fairly quickly if you wanted to. Clancy is saying, Des, I'm thinking about getting into Crusader Kings 3. I've never played any of them. Played lots of EU4 and Stellaris. What do you think about the pros and cons of Crusader Kings 3? Great question. Great question. Because really, what it comes down to is, do you want to play Crusader Kings 3 or do you want to play Field of Glory Kingdoms? They're the two games really in that genre that sort of, I think, would give you that strategic gameplay aspect of it. Crusader Kings 3 is very, very strong in the relationships. So if you're into building up like your actual inside your court in your kingdom, so you're sort of more playing from inside and playing more like you're actually inside the court of the kingdom rather than actually looking at the kingdom as a whole. I think Crusader Kings 3 clearly is the game for that one. In terms of graphics, Crusader Kings 3 also is the game to play. But if you are looking for more strategy game type aspects to it, and if you're looking for more depth in your military and more nuance in the way that you then build your forces and then actually attack across different sectors, then Field of Glory Kingdoms is the better game. So they're both really, really cool games with what they do, but it really comes down to your own play style as to what you want. Crusader Kings 3, I think, with the whole relationship model, Field of Glory Kingdoms sort of mentions that a little bit, like in terms of it, but in reality, it's just not a feature of that game at all. Like it's forget like if anything you ever read about the managing your court in Field of Glory Kingdoms, ignore it. It's just not in the game. It's a bigger look on top of it. It's also a WeGo system, whereas Crusader Kings 3 is a real-time game. And by WeGo, what happens is that you end up playing 6 months at a time, and so you give your orders for the next 6 months, and it will then play through day by day for that 6 months, and then things will happen. This is in Field of Glory Kingdoms, and then you'll then do the next 6 months, if you know what I mean. Whereas Crusader Kings is always playing on, and the thing with Crusader Kings 3 that I and with most Paradox games, to be honest, I really, really dislike that their games don't have tactical battles in any meaningful way. And Crusader Kings, I haven't played it for a long, long period of time, simply because it doesn't have it. So if Battle Mode's also saying it's a fantastic game if you enjoy the role-playing aspect of strategy. Yes, it is. It's much more immersive in that sense. Mechanically, if you're just stacking up numbers against other numbers, like all Paradox games, yes, it is as well. It's very much, like you don't really get immersed in the actual units that you have. If you do get Field of Glory Kingdoms, then you pretty much, I believe that you do also want to then get Field of Glory Medieval, which is the tactical battle system for Kingdoms, and that means you can play the battles out tactically, which is awesome, which is incredible. Chris saying, unlike the damn Armageddon spell in Heroes of Might and Magic, that spell is a bane. Okay, so I think you're talking about Master of Magic there. Shadow Magic was peak Age of Wonders. I can see that, except, and this is another thing I always go back to. When I look at all of the different Age of Wonders, I loved Age of Wonders 1. Age of Wonders 2 and Shadow Magic I really, really enjoyed. But it got to a point where I had to play with it so heavily modded to make it so that I enjoyed it. I can't even remember vanilla Shadow Magic for Age of Wonders at all. So Shadow Magic was sort of like an extension of Age of Wonders 2. So if you're sort of wondering what Shadow Magic is. But I had to play that one heavily, heavily modded. Same with Age of Wonders 3. I had to have mods to make it fun for me. But then Planetfall came out and I didn't need the mods. And so I was blown away that Planetfall actually was now building a game that actually had all the things that I needed to balance out in the previous games that I didn't enjoy, was now part of the base game. And then Age of Wonders 4 took the lessons from Planetfall and then made, for me, what is at the moment the best game in the world, like the perfect game at the moment. So, and I think that because you don't need mods to make Age of Wonders 4 playable. In fact, in one sense, you just don't need it. Like there's nothing there's nothing to be fixed. Whereas in all the other previous games, including Shadow Magic, there was. So, yeah, and I can see why people would look back fondly at Shadow Magic. I look back fondly at it, but only with all of those different mods installed. And without that, I don't look back at. I don't think I would be anywhere near as fond of the game. Okay, so we've got the Oliver saying about Thrill of Glory. I was referring to the tactical battles. It is high depth too, not being fantastical. Yes, it's the tactical battles in Field of Glory as a tabletop simulator is incredible. I absolutely love it, and that's why I really enjoy having the campaign aspect of Field of Glory Kingdoms, and then the actual tactical battle aspect of Field of Glory Medieval, and being able to switch back and forwards between them. I think it really works well. So Battle saying, I always enjoy hearing Daz talk about Age of Wonders 4. It makes me want to retry it. It should be the only game on everybody's computer. It should. If you ever go to a desert island, always make sure you take Age of Wonders 4. Pickle Father Noogle saying, hello, Mr. Daz. Been a while. It's been a while since I've been in a stream, but I'm yeah, likewise, good to see you. Rita's saying, have you seen the game Astronauts? It's not a strategy or god game you usually play. If you play it, so I would compare it to Dwarf Fortress. I have seen it. I think I may have it, but I don't think I've played it. So yeah, very detailed spaceship scavenging simulator. I think I had looked at it. It's funny because it came out just after a whole lot of other spaceship scavenging type games came out as well, and so I saw that it rated very highly, but I don't think I played it. Buckaroo Bonsai is saying, energized by a game makes total sense. It's the feel, mood, immersion, and pace that keeps you interested and excited when playing. Real-time start games have the advantage of pace and urgency. Yeah, it's the energy I find critically important, particularly if you're sitting down for an extended period of time, which is not good for you, by the way. Just to put that out there, it's actually... it is one of those things, I think, like it's one of those things I always feel like I should actually try to always say we've got to balance our lives out, guys. You know, we game players have to we have to do at least get outside a little bit. Like I at least I mean I do make a point of trying to go for a swim or a bike ride or something every day, but it's so when you're playing games, you just get so immersed in what's going on, and particularly games that do energize you. It's probably not a healthy thing, actually, when I think about it. So Buckaroo Bonsai saying, but the best turn-based game can overcome that with the one more turn feel. Yes, like Master of Orion and Master of Magic. Civilizations, various games have that issue. Some better feel. Yes, I know what you're saying. Fantasy Field of Glory would be awesome. Yeah, well, I think we've got to start a movement to actually get Slytherin to build a Lord of the Rings version of Field of Glory. I think that would be just incredible. But I don't think it'd be a big market for it, to be honest, because it's so historical. Chris is saying, okay, I need to go shopping. I'll stream on my phone and continue listening while walking around the shops. All right, so Victor's saying Field of Glory 2 Lord of the Rings would be the best invention in human history after soap. There we go. I'll have to pass this on to Slytherin. Hi, Ladrin, how you going? Elias saying they need to learn from Total War 3 Kingdoms. Total War 3, yeah, it's very different. And yeah, I haven't played Total War games for such a long time. I sort of had a bit of a problem with dealing with creative assembly, actually. So in the end, it just wasn't viable for me to keep on trying to keep up with their games. And it's a shame because I really enjoyed the Warhammer, Total War Warhammer, but I haven't really played anything for years with Total War, which I would love to, but I shouldn't say it. No, I won't say it. I'm not going to say why. Let's just say that there was I was asked to do things to say things that I didn't that weren't that I didn't believe in, and that's I'll just say right now, guys. I'll always say what I think is the truth about a game, no matter what. Like, if it's a sponsored stream, I will often, if I don't like a game, I will refuse the sponsorship, and not play the game. Just putting it out there, just so you know where I stand with. I don't shill for games, so when a gaming company asks me to shill for them, I don't. I'm quite happy to walk away, because I feel it's much more important for me to be honest with my appraisals about a game than to be than to shill for them. And because if you're watching this trying to figure out what you want to buy with your hard-earned money, and I influence you to buy a game that I don't believe in, I would feel terrible about that, like absolutely terrible, no matter what I was getting paid to do it. And it's something that I went in with that in mind. And I've got to say that when I deal with companies, for example, like Slytherin is a classic example. When I deal with them, they know that this is my approach. I don't lie about my thoughts about a game. I will give the good and the bad, even when I'm actually doing a sponsored live stream for them. They know that and they embrace that, because what that means for them, and they can see the value of that, because what it means is that it's allowing people that are evaluating their games to think that aspect is important to me or that aspect is not important to me. So as you start to sort of do things, you then realise, yes, it's a game I'm interested in, or it's not a game I'm interested in. And I've always loved that about Slytherin, because, and I don't play all their games, because I honestly just don't think, some of them I just don't like, and games, like, I don't ever feel like I have to always pump up anybody's games, to be honest. So that's why I always try to be as honest as I possibly can. I always also do say that, like, if I am being sponsored with a game, take that into account, because it may actually end up, it may make me feel more positively about a game than I otherwise would. I don't think it does, but subconsciously it could. Anyway, that's something that is an aspect. So I'll just say that I was asked to do things for Creative Assembly that I didn't feel comfortable with, and so they stopped supplying me with games. And I'm thinking it's a shame, because I really quite enjoyed some of their games, but I'm not going to play that game. So having said that, I really, you rely a lot on sponsorship for doing one of these sorts of channels, and so sponsorship is very important, but you also got to have your integrity. I think otherwise your channel is useless; it's worthless. Anyway, that's enough on my soapbox. Okay, so I'll just skim past a few of these things. Okay, so what Oliver was saying, I was pretty annoyed by the tactical battles when playing a campaign in Field of Glory Empires. Yeah, it's much better, the handshaking between kingdoms and medieval. Still got to have both games, and this is actually when the beta, because I was in the beta process for both games actually, but in Kingdoms, I could, just before it released, actually, I was saying, like, even with the way it was going across, there were still too many clicks when you got into Field of Glory Medieval, and I really pushed hard at that point to say, you've got to make it so that you go straight into the battle, which is almost what happens now. So I was very happy that they put that in, and that was right at the very, very end, just before the game actually was released. And I'm super thankful that they did that, because it just makes that handshaking between those two games just a little bit cleaner. So it's not seamless, but it's certainly much better than when Empires did it back in the day. Okay, so what did we get up to? So I think if I got into it, it'd be a Desert Island game for sure. It's clearly very replayable. I'm not sure which one we're talking about. Okay, Hugh David saying Age of Wonders 4 is my top game. I thoroughly enjoy playing it every time. Yeah, so we're now that's our Desert Island game. So Age of Wonders 4 is the Desert Island game that I would designate. Actually, I should probably call this stream that one, the Desert Island games. The best Desert Island game. Anyway, no one's going to know what that is. All right, so so Bannerman said, don't bother playing the tactical battles in Field of Glory Empires. It just slows the game down. See, I do. I enjoy it. Enjoy that aspect. I find it immersive. and Battle Mode saying that's partly why I don't enjoy Age of Wonders. If you don't know, Battle Mode is extremely what's the word? Hyperactive. He can't relax into a tactical system. He has to keep on going to the next endorphin rush. You know, with I'm only joking. I love that I can actually shit stir a battle mode. Like we have a very, very good love-hate relationship. The technical combat is great, but wanting to go back to the strategic side of things after a long battle is jarring. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. So Buckaroo Bonsai is saying, I really like Age of Wonders, but I wish that they increased the non-combat systems like economy, tech magic development, and events quest. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's fairly simplistic. It is fairly simplistic. Yep, there we go. So Matthew's saying, Daz, engage health and safety mode. There we are. Yeah, I do feel that's important, you know, like getting a balance. I know that back in the day, I used to live for gaming. Like as in, I literally would, if I went away on a holiday, I couldn't wait to get back so I could play some games. And I realised that was really unhealthy. Like just talking about sort of being addicted to games again. Like, and it was, and also I used to end up having to. This is well before doing YouTube or anything like that. But it was, because that was all I wanted to do was just play games. Like all my downtime was playing games, and it still sort of is. But I do now try to balance that a little bit. So Bosco's saying outside, ooh. But no, I think it is important to somehow just find that little bit of balance. Particularly as I got older, it was sort of I was realizing, I've got to find other things to do in that in my relaxation time, other than just playing games. Because I was super even with buying games, I got to a point where I would have to give myself little rules of not actually of earning the ability to buy a game, like whether that be through eating healthy for a week or just anything, whatever it might be. It was just funny. Anyway, but in the end, I've now got a heap of stuff that I do, with the swimming, the life saving, things like that, which I just absolutely love, which is sort of like completely different to gaming. So Dominic Kane, so I just use a swimming simulator on the PC. Outdoors, no thanks. I think it's like even just going for a walk. It's so healthy to just do it. And the thing I noticed is that I feel when I come back from the beach, I've got a completely different perspective on everything. Like it's I just find that I find it just completely resets me as almost in a caveman sort of sense. And again, I don't know if that makes sense. I think we get so tied up in our work lives, and we're under such more stress now than we've ever been before. Particularly, I feel very sorry for millennials and Gen Zers and stuff like that who don't have any escape from their social medias, and it's debilitating. And kids as well, like the young kids that are now coming up through where they're getting bullied on social media. It's just no escape. Whereas for us older people, we didn't grow up with any of that sort of stuff, and so it's sort of like if I still only look at my emails once or twice a day. I don't look at it any other time, and I've always done that because I'd never had emails when I was starting off my work life. It was not a feature, and so for me it's always just been that's the way I've operated. And I'm sort of thankful that I have continued to do that. And same with my phone. I often completely forget my phone. In fact, my phone is probably running out of charge. I better just while we're thinking about it, I should just recharge it before the day starts. Yeah, it's down to 18%. I'll just pop it in the charger. There we go. But I'll often actually with the phone, I'll often actually look at it, and it'll be like 3 days, and there's been a message there on the phone for me. I'm pretty bad like that, but I don't apologise for it. So anyway, we keep on going. So Sky Stranger saying, I just started learning Stars and Shadow. Is it good without mods? Yes, it is. It's fine. It's a great little game. It's a very good game, but it is now fairly old. Okay, so Picklefather Nurgle saying, yeah, Creative Assembly is definitely one of those 1984 type companies. Toe the line or else. Yeah, it's sort of, well, it is and it isn't. And I think it comes down, often, I've got to say, it's not just Creative Assembly. I've had a lot of gaming companies take this approach, and quite often it's actually not the company. And I don't know if it is the company or not, to be honest. it's quite often the person you're dealing with, and they will actually have a different sort of bent. And quite often you're dealing with, particularly on the PR side of things, a lot of the really big companies that have got like that have PR companies involved in their distribution don't have any connection to the games that they're trying to pass on. All they care about is the PR for the company that they're being employed by. So they don't understand the relationship that the game has with the gaming player base. And so, and which is sort of funny because as a PR company, you'd be thinking that that's super important. And again, I think about the like other PR people that I deal with who are the opposite of that. And Microprose is a classic example of this, where the the way that they curate, and Hooded Horse as well. These companies really understand the connection that gamers have with their company and with the games that they make, and so they curate that in such a, it's a soft way, but it actually works incredibly well, I think. Whereas the bigger the gaming company that they're sort of the PR company dealing with, I think that's more the problem than the actual company themselves. To be honest, if I'm trying to sort of think of problems I've had, and I've had problems with PR people with games that I absolutely love, who got in the way, and in one case I had to go past them to the actual developer to essentially get what I needed, from the game, and which is, I don't like doing that, but when you're dealing with people who don't understand the game, it's actually very, very frustrating. Anyway, I'm sort of going off I'm sort of now talking in riddles because I can't really talk about specifics. But it's it's a hard life being a YouTuber. All this stuff you have to then go and do. Okay, so Pastralin is saying, I've spent hours on your older tutorials and never caught you live before. You seem like a lovely guy. Thanks for all the tutorials. Thank you for that. I am a lovely guy. I'm sure my wife would disagree with you, but anyway. No, it's sort of, I think you've got to approach life with a bit of a smile, I think. It's sort of, it's too short to be too upset about things. So Michael's saying, it's just me, or does it sound really low? Actually, it may be. I can ramp it up a bit. Is that any? I don't think that's any better, actually. It may be low, actually. I'm just looking at the at where it's sort of peaking. It doesn't seem to be sort of where it normally is. It may have been an update on my system. I'm sorry, guys, if that's the case. I don't think I can easily change that. I'll look into it after the stream if I can remember. But I didn't get a message saying that things were coming through. I'm just looking at the microphone settings. It is peaking at a lower rate than what it normally would, and I can't change that, unfortunately. Actually, I might just quickly try. Can I do it? Actually, where is it? I forget where I've actually got it. I'll just see if it's somehow not working. I've got a fairly convoluted way of trying to get my microphone to actually to play properly. And I can't even see it in there. No, I can't see it. Actually, it might be under here. No, it won't be there either. Yeah, I'm not sure where I've got it. I'm not sure where I've got it. I'll just go back to the gaming one. So sorry about that if that's the case. But yeah, it probably is low. It looks low with what's going on. Clancy's saying Age of Wonders 4 is my favourite tactical battles, although I love the strategic map as well as been an amazing atmosphere. Actually, I'll just bring that one back on again. Yeah, we'll just leave that one there, just so we get something interesting on the screen. So where have we got it? Oliver's saying Total War games have also the battle resolve problem. Doing the tactical battles yourself would mostly turn out for the better for the campaign. Lower army costs in exchange for time investment. Yeah, I know what you mean. Dom UK is saying it's sad to see how many games journalists do shill. The mainstream industry is very poor. I always trust your opinions, Daz. Yeah, thanks. Look, I try. It's so important for me to try to be honest. Like it really is. It's something that, like whenever I'm asked to, like if I've got a new contact in a game, I always let them know that I'm not going to, that's my integrity is much more important to me than than anything they could pay me, to be honest. So it's sort of funny. It's because I think that's all you. At the end of the day, that's what my brand is on YouTube, is to say what I think. It's funny with shilling, you know, like it's and it's sort of this is going to be completely off in a different tangent. Should I go there? I was going to talk about cricket. I was going to talk about cricket in India and money, because I find that cricket commentators really shill up to India, and when any team plays them, because that's where all the money is. And I looked up the other day India apologies, and it's one-sided. Any time India does anything in the cricket field that is contentious, there's never an apology back. But anything that's even slightly contentious from any other game-playing nation, the apologies are always back to the Indian team, always. And it's unbelievable, actually. Like when you actually look at it, I was looking for one apology. They'll apologise to their audience, but they'll never apologise to the opposition team for anything they've done. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the recent Test series that Australia played against India, which was the best. More people watched that than has ever watched Test cricket before in history, and so it was a incredible series. But there was a 19-year-old. It's his first games playing for Australia, so he was the youngest opening batsman Australia's ever had in the whole history of cricket, like for 150, 160 odd years, or however long it actually is, probably even longer. And so he's the youngest player ever to play, and he ended up getting in these verbal sort of altercations with some of the other Indian players, which is what happens. But then they ended up really, really focusing on him as a whole team, and that's just, you never see that. And if any other team had done that to any Indian player, no matter what age they were, the apologies that would have had to come after that would have just been through the ceiling. But there's nothing at all said. And anyway, I won't keep on going that way, but it's just, I find that so one-sided. And anyway, that's. But journalists will talk up the like, they never ever say anything negative about that aspect of the money situation with India controlling the game of cricket, and it's a real shame, actually, because they do shill for the Indian team, I believe, in my opinion. And again, just look up. I just looked up Australia India apologies, and and it was just all it was Australia apologising for things that go back decades, because that's where the money is. Anyway, let's not go there. I'm sure that there'll be people that are watching this completely disagree, but I just find that's like, and I've noticed that for so long, for decades, that's been the case. If they make any sort of complaint, there's immediately an apology coming back particularly from Australia, from the perspective I see. But there was never an apology back about the way that they behaved on the field with this young kid. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, it's Anyway, that's just shilling out. You don't even shill enough of your own merchandise, says Tony Mutant Squid. I know, I've got to make more. I always just forget. Like I mean, it's up on the screen. I sort of think, I'll pop it in there, and at least it's on the screen there. And it's sort of funny. I'm going to have to actually buy some more myself. That the T-shirt that's up there right now is with the ChatTactic. I'm going to have to get myself. I've got a few of those actually, but they're getting a bit old now, so I'm going to have to go and get myself another one of those. I actually really quite like this. I get so many comments, not from people who know the channel, but when I wear that shirt around the street, people almost every time I wear it, people do comment about it. It's just sort of funny. People like it. All right. So anyway, let's keep on going. So Matthew's saying that sounds like you should have reported them to the authorities, Daz. I'm not sure which one you mean. Okay, so seriously, lift, swim, run movement is important. There's no reason for gamers to live up to the whale stereotype. Look, I'm definitely way overweight. But I know that I'm fairly healthy, so that's the important thing for me. So I don't focus on losing weight ever. Like I sort of do a little bit at different times, but it's mainly just so I've got better movement. So what other hobbies do you have? Well, I like illustrating. I like doing my job. Basically, for me, it's life saving. I really enjoy doing that one. So I spend an awful lot of time doing that on the beach. So I'm a trainer for life saving as well. So I end up sort of like during the summer seasons here in Australia, I'm nearly every weekend is taken up with doing that sort of stuff, which I enjoy. So that's really a hobby more than anything. Swimming every morning at the beach, I enjoy that as well. Gaming, of course. So they're pretty much my hobbies. I do like reading. I like playing Sudoku as well, to be honest. So Sudoku is probably the one thing I play every single day before I go to bed, just sort of unwind. And I do enjoy my work, so I'm pretty blessed like that. I do enjoy doing graphic design, so it's good fun. But I'm saying I do other things, so I go insane. I'm back at the gym and pumping iron. I want to look like Randy Savage by the end of the year. So I take a walk in Skyrim, says Reed. But I'm messing complete with wild clothes, sunglasses, and insane ranting. There we are. So Clancy's saying, I'm always preaching your honesty, Daz. I've never had to wonder if you're sincere. Sincerity was genuine. I do get asked that a little bit, like whether I am. And again, it's up to the individual. I always just say, look, it's up to you guys to figure out if it's if you do, it's up to you to whether to, what sort of stock you put into what I say. I always try to be balanced, but sometimes you're not. So actually, Matthew before was saying Daz keeps it an absolute keep it an absolute buck. He's always integrity is a field full of shills and woke spectators. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where I really don't like seeing people just saying things for the sake of pleasing a publisher or a developer or whatever it might be. And it happens so often. It's just so often. But it's something I really feel strongly against, because I actually don't think it's good for the game ultimately either. Which is why, again, I'm so thankful with Slytherin really does support me incredibly with with different sort of streams and stuff like that. I can be 100% honest with them. And when they've got a game, it's I'll often play it and go back. Look, I don't like this, and this aspect of it. So even before it's released, and it's great because I really enjoy that relationship incredibly. I really value it amazingly. It's sort of funny. So CB is saying, speaking of activity, got to go get my jog in. Hey, there we go. So catch the rest of the VOD. So maybe you'll still be on when I get back. Yeah, I've got a bit of time today, but I will start to sort of wind up fairly soon. Battlemate saying Stars of Shadow is the best Mu 2 type like game. Yeah, I think you're right. I always think back of which one is it? In my space games, I've forgotten the name of it. Interstellar Space Genesis. I'm not even seeing it there. There it is there. I think that would rival Mu 2 as well, to be honest. So with that one in that side. Skystring is saying, ISG is great. Bannermate is in saying it himself. He's saying, I slightly prefer it to Interstellar Space Genesis, which is also very fun. Yep, so ISG is great with Evolving Empires. I played around 80 hours in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I think ISG, for me, pips it more so. I think that is now a more modern retake. Again, though, I don't feel energized by the game, so that's why I don't play it all that much. Whereas I feel much more energized playing Gal Civ. I think that, again, the colours that they use in Gal Civ work very, very well. So, Pastralan saying sound is fine for me. It looks low. I'm going to have to check that when we get off. So Victor's saying I can hear you. It's not terribly low, but it's lower than what it normally is. I normally have it up higher than is what's advised with the sound. So where do we get to? You've been a little quiet the last two or three streams. Yeah, I'm thinking that it may be that there was an update at some point that I've just missed. I've always got to go back in and double check my settings for everything, because it completely screws that up. But the only way I can actually do that is to rebuild the way that my computer looks at the sound system. So I've always had to boost it artificially. Dom UK is saying, Indian Premier League. Premier League is not the problem. It's actually the India Council, Cricket Council, or whatever it might be. Is it the ICC? I can't remember which one it is. It's the Premier League. I think is pretty cool in India, actually, because a lot of a lot of players get a lot of support that way, and so I actually quite like that aspect. It's just I just don't like the way that it's so one-sided with the way the apologies work with India. They demand apologies left, right, and centre for any little slight that they take, but they never give them back. Now I want to play Stars and Shadow again, says Victor. So Pastrana's saying life saving. What a great hobby you have to have. It's really cool, actually. I love it. I've always been a swimmer. So even as a kid, I used to I was one of those kids that had to train with swimming like morning and night. Like it was like growing up as a kid. It was at the pool. Like I had to. Yeah, it's just crazy amount of swimming. But I've always enjoyed swimming. Like it's just something I actually really, really love. And and then I stopped doing it for decades, really. I've only really got back into it in probably the last 20, 25 years again, just of saying to sort of just enjoy being at the beach, being in the water, and it's good fun. So Gyrax is saying, do you think Paradox Project Caesar is EU5? I don't know that one actually. I'm not sure how that would work. And Dom UK is saying, but the IPL is where all the money is. So they want you to don't want you to rock the boat with the India Cricket Board. Well, that's the thing. It's the it's the ICB, isn't it? The India Cricket Board. It's where all the money in the game is. And so yes, but the thing I don't like is that the Indian team now plays on that, and it's one thing for the money to be coming from there, but for everyone to pander to it, I think is wrong. Anyway, we're not talking about computer games now, so let's move back to computer games. Me, myself, and I was saying, was Pandora first contact by its colour scheme? Hearing talk about game feeling alive, I start to wonder. I didn't feel energised by that one, to be honest. Killed by its colour scheme. Yeah, maybe. So that certainly wasn't energising, but Gladius isn't energising either, but I love that game. Chris is back from the shops. Australian saying, I'm from the Netherlands and living in a delta where we're all about we were all taught swimming at a young age. Yeah, it's good actually. It's such a good thing to do. Clancy's saying, I really hope Project Caesar is EU5. I love EU4. I didn't ever play enough of EU4. I sort of stopped playing the EU games when they had preset starting points. I used to like it back in the day, like EU2, where you could actually choose any point in history and then start from there. I don't know why, but I just really like that. Oliver's saying with Pandora, the map was quite dark and violent. Yes, that's true. It really wasn't great in that sort of sense. Dom UK saying Project Caesar is more likely to be EU Rome 2. Maybe. Same here, hoping for EU5. Let's have a look at the Steam before we sort of do the giveaway. We'll go and look at Steam. Look at my Steam library, and we'll have a look at some of the different things. So we've got the Xenonauts 2 December update. This is now old news, but Xenonauts 2 essentially has now got the all of the whole missions can now be played in Xenonauts 2, but they're still working on it, of course. There's still a lot to be done in the roadmap. Intravenous 2, I'm loving this game. I'm playing this every day. I'm playing it. I'm just absolutely taken by it. I'll show you what it is, because I had recorded a video, and I keep on not being happy with it. And I've recorded it a few times, and I've got one ready. I've actually even uploaded it, but I just haven't actually shown it. This game is incredible, and I'll just drop that for a second, and we'll just go and play Intravenous 2. Let me show you why this game is so damn special. I won't start a new game, but I'll just start from where I am in an existing game, and I'll show you why this is just so damn good. In fact, I might go. I'm sort of towards the end of in one of the missions. This is completely not the sort of game that I would normally play, by the way. It's real time. It's preset maps. Every single map is curated. But see, in this case, I'm hiding in here, for example, and so with the music that's playing, it's very, very low music, which means that nothing has been discovered yet. if I go and we can see that there's like I'm actually in this room. If I press tab, this is me down in here. So I'm down in this room in through here. I've actually gone and killed a couple of, like this one's unconscious actually. I haven't finished them off, and there's another one I've got over through here which is unconscious. So I can carry these goons around with me. I've turned the lights off in this case, the breaker box in through here. I can sort of crawl outside these open windows and things. So it's sort of one of these games where you do actually have like a sort of, like I'm playing in a stealth mode at the moment. And so I've turned off everything. If I just go and open this one up, if I sit here and let this guy watch me, you watch what actually happens. So he looks for me, he'll then start to come. And so look at him go, he's now going to start firing. This is then going to trigger all the others. Look at them all coming. I'm just going to go. So they're now starting, and they'll all start talking. They'll bring all their friends in. Look at them all come. I'm just going to get my gun. There's another one in here. But look at the swarming. Need to reload. So, and the music now is sort of telling me that we've now been spotted. So that's one thing. And see how they're now starting to hide. This game is so clever. This guy is now going into hide here. They're hiding in different positions because I've actually been able to protect myself reasonably well inside this darkness. So they haven't been able to see me. As I come out, they'll start to then move around. And do that one, he's still alive. Reload again. And I'm out of bullets. So I'll just go to my second. I've got like a silenced pistol. I've also got like a knife which I can use, so I can sort of make use of this one. So I'm actually doing pretty well just in the run and gun phase. So I don't have to play this way. But with this now, they've been activated, and I think I'm towards the end of this particular one. But all of the guys now have been radioing each other. They're going to be starting to wait for me. They're going to start looking for me fairly soon. This now is showing me, this is like normally red, but there's somebody that will be monitoring that usually. So there'll be some guy sitting in some room somewhere looking to do that. So I've been through here. I think it's towards the end. Yeah, and so I'm nearly at the end of the actual mission itself. It's incredible, this game. I've got to say, the way that the AI works, if I just go back, and the other thing is you've got limited save games. You can only save a small number of times, so you can't save scum easily. So I've got a fair few saves in through here. If I go back to the start, so the dilapidated complex start, if I go and click on this one through here, click any key. I'm actually out at the side here. You get to choose all your weapons at the start. If I go and there's aspects about being seen like as well. As soon as you get seen, if I jump over here, not sure. Oops, there we are. See more coming again. So they hear the sound and then respond. There we go. And so it's unlike any other game like this that I've ever played, where they actually respond according to what they do. Like I'll show you another aspect of it because it's so damn good the way it sort of works. If I just go back to the start again, and so Bannerman's saying kind of reminds me of the original Metal Gear games. I haven't played those. So this is Intravenous 2. Intravenous 1 is just as good. So if I go back and let's go and play with a knife. So we go and use a knife in through here. Let's go and try to set one up where we end up with a there we go, just stabbed him. He did get a shot away. The others will all come running from all over the place. So we can hide in the dark. And they'll now start to look for us. Yeah, there we go. He saw me through the window. But it's incredible that they've gone all over the map to pick up all the different people saying, hey, there's someone down here. And they actually say things to each other as well, which is very, very cool. I'll just load in one more. And I'll try to do one where they actually find the body. Show you that as well. If I can do that first one where they don't actually get the shot away. If you leave a body where they find it, it really starts to freak them out, which is actually, again, it's very, very different. If I just go to version 4 and through there. So I'll just wait for this guy to come. Now he's looking down that way, so he can still see where I am. Oops, he heard the knife, but doesn't know where I actually am. Can't see me yet. I've got the silence. Just going to pick up the knife again. I'm in the darkness here. So there's a little indicator over on the left-hand side over here, which is the darkness. Oops. No, I used a silencer there. So they haven't found me at all. But let's go and carry him and leave him somewhere where people will see him. Like in here. Can you see him? I haven't noticed him yet. I'll just carry him, just so we leave him. I reckon there, they'll start to see him. And we'll just watch what happens. Again, just with the way the AI is coded in this game, it's just phenomenal. So they should see him from this window. Like when he comes back up here. Oh, you okay? He's going to now go out. Just get my gun back ready again. You alive there? No, you're not. Who killed this guy? He's going to start then looking around. He still hasn't activated anyone just yet. He's now a bit freaked out. Yeah, so he's not doing his normal run. Doesn't know what to do. So he's wandered off in a different direction now. And may start to get others because it's just confusing. It's not like it's actually been triggered with the mounts. This guy can't see it past that for whatever reason. But if I go and make more noise, I can pick up, for example, a bottle. If I throw it at the window, just break the window. That will then freak out the other guy, I think. The other guy's going to start looking for me. See if the others come back through, but he's now coming back with a different guy that wasn't there before. It's now looking for what's going on. Yeah, see them all now starting to come through. So now they'll start to now get in little groups and start hunting for me. So see how the music is now starting to come up. So you see how they're now picking up even more people. Don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's really, really cool. The way that sort of work. Just reload. It's a low wall. Anyway, it's very, very cool. It's just the way the AI is modeled in this game is, I've never seen anything like it in a game like this before. Usually in these games, you'll trigger just a small group of them, like in that they'll be pre-coded to come through, but they're coming from the whole, all over the map to actually now start to look. So you can start to move and hide, or you can try to go through the whole mission where you are in stealth mode the whole time. But that you saw that just with that finding that body, he then went off and started to look around, and he then got people involved to come and check it out as well. It's and then as soon as the sound happened, it was then escalated. So William Thomas is saying kind of like Zero Cvit, but different AI. Yeah, it sort of is. it's not random at all in sense of the actual maps, but the actual way that the AI plays is really, really good. Like, it's unbelievably good. I do want to show that because, as I say, I'm just blown away by this game. Absolutely blown away by it. It's Intravenous 1 was excellent as well. So, I'm just having a lot. I'm terrible at it, but I really enjoy it. So in the current game, I'm almost all the way through in stealth mode, where I've just sort of basically been able to. Like if I try to get this guy here, for example, I just see how that red is red, which means it's active. If I just go and do that, I'll try to sort of get this guy. Now I'm not using any weapons, so I'll just punch him a little bit, carry him back inside. We'll just close the door, and we'll just come back around. There is a window there. I have to be a bit careful. So what's he seen? Turn the lights off. There should be a door there. Oh, this is the guy. He just saw me. Yeah, he still hasn't seen me. He's gone out to see what's going on. Now he's seen me. I completely missed that guy. He was watching the cameras. So just go and load that again. I can play this for hours and hours, and just I'm so bad at it though. Yeah, so it's like, so again, if I see there's a guy sitting up the top there. If I I'll still just follow the same thing because I think that's what I'm next going to do. But he's not. I'm just out of his peripheral vision. So I punch him. He got a bit of a punch in back on me. I'm just going to go and pick him up. He's actually unconscious. He's not dropping any blood at the moment. So he didn't see me across there. Just going to. Drop this one out through here. He's still alive. Yeah, so they're now aware of me. And now everyone's aware of me. There's so much else in it anyway, but I just thought I'd show that game because it's it really is incredibly well done. Yeah, absolutely blown away by that one. So Intravenous 2, yeah, that's the game. Okay, so Bubba saying quite chuffed that you got into Nebulous Fleet Command based on your 2024 review. Going to be a great game. Yeah, I look at, and that's also got. And let's just go back to our Steam list. Again, I'm not in any great rush today, so it's not as if I have to rush off. Normally, I am in a bit of a rush, but I started an hour earlier than what I normally would, just so that I didn't have to rush too much, which I might sort of keep on doing. Got Intravenous 2 back and through there. Galciv Mega Structures, that was really quite cool actually. It took me a little while to get that working actually, and so I've still want to play a lot more of that. Milestone 5.2, this is actually another stability fix for Xenonauts. Intravenous, yeah, very, very cool. Nebulous, God, this has been such a surprise packet. Nebulous Fleet Command. It's one of these things I am just on the periphery of learning the basics, if you know what I mean. There's so much to do with this particular game. It's so detailed, and it's a space combat game where in real time, where you have to essentially sort of design your fleet, and by fleet maybe 2 or 3 ships. It would be all that you'll actually get in your little fleet, and you then have to sort of play out things in the battlefield. But I haven't even started to look at missiles. It's one of these games I'm looking forward to playing. The thing with Nebulous, though, there is actually very, very soon, it's coming, I think any day now, is an update for it to do. In fact, if we just go across to it, so rebalancing process, this is Nebulous Fleet Command. Yeah, that was December 29th. When was this one? January 6th. Okay, this has only just come out. The final devlog for the Carrier update series is now available. So they've now got carriers coming, and it's going to make it a bit less accessible for players because it's more things to learn. And really, I haven't even learnt missiles yet. Missiles are sort of like fairly important to understand. So all I've learnt at the moment is just basic guns. So it's sort of almost like battleships in space, in one sense. This one features an in-depth discussion on the balancing process we went through the update. Yeah, that should be pretty cool. As well as a major surprise feature coming out with the update this Friday. What people are hoping for with Nebulous, and maybe I should show you the actual the store page. You can see their recent reviews are mixed. So 67%. So 67% is still positive. Just show you this one, but I'll turn off the sound. Actually, I'm sure it'll be okay, but. So you've got like lots of information, different ways of sort of handling different things. These are what the ships look like. They look very, very basic, but all the internals of the ships you just get to design where things actually go. So it's very, very detailed. You start to see it's like venting oxygen and all sorts of different things that sort of happen with it. As the ships start to take damage, all sorts of different things happen with the way that they then operate in combat, and it's extremely well done. So as bullets are sort of firing through the ship, some will only pass into the actual internals, which will then damage whatever you've set up inside the actual ships themselves. But it's quite a detailed combat-based game. The developer is actually an ex-Navy guy, I believe, and this is actually that was just showing the damage control of what was going on with it. This is a ship that's taken a lot of damage. You can sort of see with what's going on. That's a ship that just exploded. But it's very, very cool the way it sort of does work and the way it operates. Extremely difficult though, like to actually just to understand what's going on. So at the moment, the only way of playing it is multiplayer, and this is why the ratings are so poor. And it took me a little while to realise that that's actually what was going on. So you can see they're very positive, 82%. It dropped from 82% down to 67%. So what happened? What happened is that when the game was first announced, it was announced with a single-player campaign, and that would have been absolutely ideal. I think it desperately does need it, because you need a way of progressing through it in single-player to understand how the game actually does function, and because it is so complex, it really screams for it. But the people who play this as a multiplayer game, love it, because as a multiplayer game, it's exceptionally tactical and really, really nuanced. So it's very rewarding as a multiplayer game, from what I can understand. But as a single player game at the moment, it really is missing a lot because of that lack of campaign. So this is yet another one of those games where the vocal multiplayer community is dictating the development of the game, which is a bit of a shame. Because I think that ultimately it's going to it's a successful game, as we can sort of see through there with the number of reviews, but you can see there's now a kickback against it. So that is actually this is a carrier update actually, which is going to be coming with the small craft. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I'm looking forward to getting into this game in a much, much bigger way in 2025. This is actually one of the games that I really want to focus on, because I found it really engaging to play, but I would love a single-player campaign just to sort of step you through. So anyway, that's Nebulous Fleet Command. Again, a hooded horse game. Looks incredible. Like the first time I played it, I just didn't understand anything at all. I'm still only halfway through the tutorials, but I have been playing a little bit just to sort of test it out, to sort of try to get a feel for the different types of guns, the different types of weapons, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's pretty cool the way it does actually work. Anyway, I'll just go back. If I go into the community hub in discussions, I really hope that they take on board. I'm surprised to hear that people weren't vocal about wanting single-player co-op content. Yeah, there we go. After Conquest game mode was scrapped. So the Conquest game mode was the campaign mode, which really looked really, really good. But I think it's just maybe got too big. So tactical view is atrocious. It's actually, you get used to it. Pre-carrier update tendency, that's okay. When I looked at it like pre-Christmas, there was a lot talking about about this expectations for the conquest mode. So yeah, definitely agree. So people are really wanting the single player mode, and I really hope that they now start to focus on that, because it desperately needs it. But a great game other than that aspect. So again, I've got content that I was recording for that one, but I just haven't actually uploaded it, and I may want to redo that. Could you turn up your voice volume? I'm sorry, I can't. It's actually at maximum at the moment, and I'm going to have to check and see why my voice, my audio is not where it normally is. But it's one of those things where it's not easy for me to fix, unfortunately. It usually means I've got to restart my computer and do all sorts of other things just to sort of get it all to kick in. So, unfortunately, we're sort of stuck with it at the moment. But I will look at that. We'll look that up as soon as we stop. CN Sand saying, really anticipating the rambling that's coming from you for not being in a rush. USS Cheyenne saying, hey Daz, have you tried Tainted Grail Conquest? It's roguelike tactical card battle game. Cool dark fantasy world. Twisted King Arthur of the universe. I haven't heard of that one at all, actually. So where did we get up to? In older games, the AI always knew where the player avatars were, not here, so I'm not sure which one we're talking about. Intravenous 2. In this case, the AI really has to hunt you down. This is in Intravenous. Intravenous is a great little game. Let's just go back down to the library again and just go through these. So we'll just step our way through. Slay the Spy, that's a bit old now. Blood Running, I've got this one, but I haven't actually checked it out. I don't know what this is like. So let's have a look and see actually how it rates, because this only just came out. Yeah, November 10th. What's it like? Store page. Very positive. 93%. 100% of... Yeah, okay, this is interesting. So this is, again, not my type, not the sort of game that I would normally play. So Blood Running is a stylish extraction shooter where you'll enter the cyber wasteland, fight off creatures and bandits, loot valuable gear, and venture into the remnants of a world in ruins. Are you willing to bleed to survive? Are you a blood runner, essentially? So this is essentially Zero Sievert. And I think that if we have a look at the community hub, I'm assuming that we'll see information about this one. And I think that this game was offered to me because I play Zero Sievert. We've got the development roadmap, bug reports, another clone dev. So this, I think, people are a bit come up with your own ideas. Your first game is a clear rip-off of Risk of Rain. This hot mess, you've just reskinned Zero Sievert. Well, it's not a hot mess if you're getting those sorts of review numbers. So so you can see back. This is back from when it was first launched or launching. So anyway. So I'm glad that they keep these comments up, even though it looks like people are enjoying the game. So I didn't actually, I've got it, but I haven't actually played it. But it doesn't look bad, Like it's Zero Sievert I really enjoy as well. Is this game similar to Zero Sievert? Yeah. So Zero Sievert is going to certainly be the what this game is probably sort of going to be looked at. If we just go back to the store page again and have a quick look at the actual where is it? The reviews. Pros, immense amount of potential. This game looks and feels amazing. I want to play it. Blah, blah, blah. Cons, quality of life improvements are needed. Better upgrading of weapons, more missions. See if anyone mentions Zero Sievert. Here we go. In general, this game will be gripping and fun. The progression is solid. The learning curve is great. However, crashes and freezes and other bugs. So it's only in early access. So I've experienced a number of app crashes due to code errors. Fetching sound assets while shooting weapons, quest animations constantly fail and cause the game to freeze. It's not fun anymore. I would love to keep it as a regular, but I'll be checking out Zero Sievert as a replacement now. So probably not someone who actually we got an update. Literally within hours of having submitted bug reports to the devs and leaving this review, they submitted a patch to address these two issues specifically. I will absolutely continue supporting this team and their work. That's cool. So submitted a bug report and the developer fixed it in a patch the next day. Great. That's great. And again, it's in early access. This is exactly what early access is about. Very good extraction shooter. It's hard, yes, but to see first... So I haven't played this one, but it looks actually pretty cool. I'll have to give that one a go, I think. So I bought this a few days ago and tell you it's definitely be one of my favourite games. It's an extraction shooter, but not as rage-inducing as Tarkov or Dark and Darker. The art style is phenomenal, so gunplay looks great. Has a cyberpunk effect. So if you've ever seen or played Zero Sievert, I think that is how you spell it. It plays a lot like that, which I absolutely love. They are both different and similar in their own ways, which is good. That's good. So it's not just a re-clone of Zero Sievert, which I think is an exceptional game. Okay, this is cool. If you like extraction shooters, I mean, that's a genre, so that's what you get. So I'm thinking this will just keep... Here we go. This is a... released in the 4 days after release. So I want to enjoy this game, but several major bugs. Yeah, so bugs again. but which have been addressed. So that's one that we probably should have a bit of a look at, I think. It's, again, I don't usually like these sorts of games, but because I just can't aim. If you check out Stone Shard, actually we were talking about that one before, actually. So yeah, Stone Shard is one that I have played. Just actually, I think it was Stone Shard we were talking about. Just go back into my library. Just go through. So that's one that I will have to have a bit of a look at. Blood Running. It's sort of funny because I got it, but then I didn't really sort of play much of it. Arcane Wilds, I didn't play that one at all. Backpack Battles, I've got to play that one as well. The Best of 2024, that's just Steam News, we won't worry about that one. Ringworlds with Mega Structures, we looked at that. That's interesting, that's this week. The Ringworld is the final and most mighty of the Titan. Okay, this is just talking about the Mega Structures expansion, which I have actually really quite enjoyed. I had it set up wrong at the start. Keeper RL, there was just a happy 2025 from Keeper RL. That was a great game from last year. From the depths, I haven't played this for years. In case you didn't notice, Stable is now on 4.23. It's been pulling extra shifts to listen to feedback and concerns. This is another one that's very much like Nebulous in the sense that you build your fleet or build your ships. A very, very complex game. I did a tutorial for that one, and it was hard to make. Very hard to make. What else have we got? We have to look at all these things. Dominion 6, 6.24. Balance changes, that's okay. Fallen Enchantress, wow. Discover the Law. Okay, so this is Unveil the Rich Tapestry of Magic. So this is an ancient game. I won't even open it up because it's just too old to have a look at that one through there. I would love them to make a second version of that, but anyway, we're not going to get that. Right, so now Bilko's saying use my my Christmas stream gift cards on Age of Wonders 4, Manor Lords, and Galciv 4. Wow, okay, so that's pretty cool. Stone Shard has been good playing it recently. I don't know if I got it installed, Stone Shard. So if we have a quick look and see. Looks like I've actually maybe uninstalled it. I got rid of a lot of games that I just thought I wasn't going to be playing for a while. That's what I'm surprised I would have taken off, actually, because I do enjoy that game. I got pretty ruthless there for a little while. Yeah, there's Stone Shard there. I played for 17 hours. I really should put that one back in, I think. It's a very, very cool game. Let's see, how's it rate? If you just look at the store page. Yeah, mostly positive. It's only 73 and then 67, but it's better than that. It is a better game than that. It's just the overworld is not random. It's not very random. ZXM is saying I love Fallen Enchantress and I still play it if it had done everything possible 50 times. Calrosh is saying you should revisit. Great update for a Stone Shard. So Rags to Riches. Is that just an update? Still early access. Hype Train. I've played so many Hype Train games over Christmas. I've really enjoyed them. Like it's they're the ones who do. Actually, if we have a look and see what their games actually are. Void Train I haven't played. Stone Shard, Quasimorph. What an incredible game. What else have they got in through here? I think they also have Intravenous, by the way. Intravenous is one of their games. So yeah, they've just got such great games. I wonder why Intravenous isn't on. If we go to the lists, no. Browse maybe. Here we go. A lot of these I haven't played. Intravenous, great game. Quasimorph, incredible game. As good as any game, really, in terms of turn-based sort of extraction shooter type games. I love that game, and it just gets better and better and better. I absolutely love it. It's funny, it didn't really feature high in my list of 2024 games, and really should have, because I'm just blown away by that game. Yeah, there's the original Intravenous, which again was really cool. Stone Shard, yeah, we'll have to put that one back in, I think. So there's the prologue back from the day. Yeah, look, I'll reinstall that one. I'll just try to remember. Sorry, I'm normally finished by now, so these things are normally not popping up. But I will have to reinstall Stone Shadow. I might just throw that on my little list just to have another look at. I always get concerned when I do see mix, when it goes from positive to mixed, so 73 down to 67. Like, why? You know, why have people not liked the update? It's sort of, yeah, it's interesting. So I'm not sure why that would be the case. It is pretty cool. It's an open world, but it's not super random. It does have some random elements though. Anyway, that's Stone Shard. Right, well, I think what we need to do is we need to start to wind up. So Chris is saying, you never mentioned Spellforce Conquest of Eo. What is your opinion of it? Okay, this is an interesting one. I've got to approach the developers actually to try to get the latest DLC, because that gives you random maps. And for me, that was the big problem with the original one. Not a problem, actually. It had a very, very good combat system. So Conquest of Eo is in my fantasy. Yeah, there we go. Spellforce Conquest of Eo. This is a game, again, that I thought that the actual approach for the way that the combat was done was incredibly good. But the lack of random maps I really struggled with the game. But now that they've actually addressed that, I do have to go back. I'll write that one as well. See if I can if I can grab hold of that one as well. It's one of those things where it's not. I wouldn't call it in the great category, but I'd certainly put it in the good category of games. So it's not one that I would keep on coming back to all the time, but it is definitely worth playing. The combat system, as I say, is very, very good in that one through there. So there we go. Battleman's saying, Brad Woodell mentioned that an Elemental remaster is planned. Looking forward to that. Don't know if a remaster would not be a remake. I would be looking for a remake, to be honest. The game needs a remaster too. Fallen Enchantress is great, but it needs to be 64-bit. Yeah, it's sort of, I don't know, I think it would need a re-look at, to be honest. It's getting a bit old now. Kelrash is saying, I'm not sure why it dropped. Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. It's sort of funny because if you're saying it's a great update, I would have thought it would have gone up rather than down in the recent views. And I do put stock in those recent views, but quite often they are political in their nature. Like there'll be something that people just don't like, and so they'll get review bombed. ZXM is saying, no randomness was my big issue with Conquest of Eo. I bought the DLC but haven't tried it yet. Yeah, I haven't actually. Well, I haven't contacted the devs, so I'll try to get hold of that so I can actually have a look at the random maps. That for me was the one missing component in the game. So I think that would be pretty cool to see it. Again, I don't feel energized when I play Spellforce. It's done well. As I say, it's a good game. It's just not a great game like Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders really for me is just so far out ahead of all the other Fantasy 4Xs. It's hard for all of them to be able to come back and compete with what that does. It's just such a good game. Anyway, I won't keep on gushing about that one. So let's get Marble Run done. Marble Run's actually... Where is it? I've got to move that further up. I've got I use another Stardock system called Fences. But what's happened recently is that it reshuffles because I've actually got I play at I keep my monitor at a higher resolution for when I'm just doing normal things, and then when I'm doing recording games, I then do it at 1080p. So I've got two resolutions, and the game doesn't like switching between the fences don't like, they reshuffle things, unfortunately, which is very, very frustrating. And I thought that it had been fixed, but it obviously hasn't been, because Marbles on Stream should be up the top here. It's so important. It's such an important thing. But I haven't actually really gone back and given feedback about that. I did initially when it was sort of chopping and changing, and there's been a few updates to Fences since then, but it still doesn't do it. I think my use of Fences is very, very unique and very unusual, just because I am always switching between 1080p and full resolution. So it's sort of, whenever you see anything on the screen, I'm always doing it at 1080p just for the recording. Anyway, that's sort of where it is. So Chris is saying, I use a Stardock app called Start 11. Really improves the UI of Windows 11. Yeah, I sort of, I think I'm still in Windows 10 with this one. Anyway, let's get marbles running. So have you heard a case of crud? Actually, everyone's asking me that all the time at the moment. I don't think I've got it installed. Again, because the overmap wasn't random. There's too many of those games. I have played it. Don't know how much hours I've got in Caves of Card. I played a lot of it when it first came out. If I have a search for it. But I'm pretty sure I've now... It's in my library, but uninstalled. It's overwhelmingly positive, 95%, 93%. Maybe I should look at this one again as well. Caves of Card. I'll pop it on the list just to reinstall it so I can have a bit of a look. So yeah, I've only played 9 hours. Actually, that's not very long for this sort of game. But again, it was not a random, like the overworld, like Stone Shard, wasn't fully random. So so original intent. So you missed what is the giveaway is. It's going to be Glorious Companions, the same as what it was last week. So I've got a so we'll do a Glorious Companions key. And there was actually one of the prizes last week wasn't claimed, so that will go back if that person doesn't claim it now. Basically, I'm going to put that one back into the list. So if you don't claim it after, usually I say after a day, I'll then just put it back into the list. But that will be where we'll go with that one. It's a dungeons that are randomised. It's like Stone Shard as well. Stone Shard has got random componentry on an open world. I just like having really random worlds, to be honest. That's why Dwarf Fortress is, for me, such a great game. It's yeah, I don't know. It's sort of Case of Card. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. I think I have to have another look at it. It's been years since I've played it. So does it say when I last played it? No, it doesn't. I thought it did actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it normally told you, but then the last time we played, it's been years and years. Certainly before Kit Fox Games was involved. So yeah, it was a fairly long time ago. The other thing I was going to show you, actually, if you are interested, I'm going to start to play Dwarf Fortress regularly on Twitch. And I've made a bit of a commitment yesterday to play it, try to play it once a week. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to do that one on Friday. So we've got Fortress Fridays. And so we'll make that a bit of a thing on Twitch, though. So will occasionally do them on YouTube, but I think it's mainly just going to be Twitch. I'll just minimise that for a second. I will show you what's happening in the current game of Dwarf Fortress, so it doesn't take too long to load up. This has been so much fun, actually. I've been playing it all over the Christmas break, and just mainly on Twitch. I did one stream here on YouTube as well. So we've now got the fortress established. It's in what's called an animating biome, which means that things come back to life, and it's been really cool actually just playing it. So if we just continue an active game, we've got no wars going on, but we've had a lot of activity. Tells you when you last played in your library. Yeah, it'll say in your library. That was the library I was in. That was where I was in there. Continue active. Yeah, was just going to this active save. So we got on Twitch. I can do a thing called Daz Demption. I can't really do it on YouTube, where I can ban people if their character dies. And so we've got that running in the game. So we've actually had 3 bannings, I think, so far. So there's been a few different bannings. Oh, it's a store page. Okay, I'll go back and have another look at that one. In this case, when we do the next one, which will be tomorrow. So I'm going to go back to Twitch tomorrow. And actually, no, sorry, I'm going to start to... I can't stop playing it. I get started. I think I'll leave it until Friday. So on Friday, I'm planning on coming back to this game, and we're going to be digging this particular channel in through here. I'm stopping it at this point, but I need to come back to this, to where we are through here. And what this one does is when we get down to here, this then opens up an area. You can see there's a whole lot of diamond clusters and things. We're way down in the magma sea. And this is then going to open up a portal down into the underworld, which will then open up demons. So I'm going to go and do that next on Friday, is to actually dig through here. But I'm going to do it in a way where I think I can do it where I can actually then lock off the this one here and lock a miner in to just see what we can find. So we'll start by mining to try to get all the valuables and just see what we actually get in there. So this is really quite cool. If we go in and actually dig, you can see there that we're going through a whole lot of heat. We do have some water in here as well. Now this is quite often what happens when you've actually got these special clusters. As I go back down, you'll see there's like a ring of special gems all the way around in through here. So this is actually a massive tunnel that leads all the way down past the bottom of the map. So we're down in the bottom of the map here anyway, but this is what we do next time. And it goes, as I go deeper and deeper, you can still see the edge of it going down and down and down, and then it goes past where I've actually got to. So I haven't got this far before, and so that will then start to open up the underworld, and we should be able to get demons, and that thing will then extend. I could go even further up. I could actually, once I get this thing going, if I just find where it is. Yeah, so this is where I'm going to be digging. I can go up above as well, so I may end up, if I don't find the demons straight away, if I find that I can actually block them off, I'll probably end up trying to mine out that whole region, and by the time I'm sort of getting up into here, I'm away from the magma. But also, what we also want to be doing is, of course, finding a way to use the magma and bring that up, either up to the surface again. So we've got the bottom down through here, where we've got some areas that we've sort of dug down into the. This is how we opened up to see where the magma sea actually was. So we can actually make use of the magma for forging different things. So. Was there, so George was saying, was there for the bearskin band. That was fun. That was really cool. Where did we get up to? Matthew's saying, caves are cut as hot sauce. There we go. Okay, we have the promise of immutable video evidence. Okay, so that was, okay, well, I'll have a look when we get back up there. Actually, we'll do that now. I'll do that now, otherwise I'll forget. I'll just... move across. If I do that one, I should then be able to bring up my Steam page, my library, and Caves of Cud. Funny, I thought I probably only just removed this one, thinking, oh, I'm never going to play that again. I put 2 hours. I'm not seeing where I last played it. Oh, last played 2016. Geez, 10 years ago. So I last played it 10 years ago. So all of my negativity has come from 10 years of 10 years ago. That was even before it got into early access, I think, or just as it was coming into early access. All right, everything I've ever said about Caves of Cud, that's based on 2016 information, not on anything else. I've got to play that again. I've got it on my little list, so I'll download that as we go. I'll also write sound as well, just so I know to check that. So I quite often forget to do things after I finish streaming. All right, I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that one. That's actually embarrassing. My apologies about that one. So anyway, Dwarf Fortress, where are we up to with this one? I'll probably do little summaries as we start, if it's been fun. And so Chris is saying, is RimWorld a game like Dwarf Fortress? RimWorld was inspired by Dwarf Fortress, but then took it into a different direction. So RimWorld is incredible as well. George is saying, was bad timing, reverted back to human form right after that. Yes, so that was pretty cool. Well, I'll show, I do have recordings of what happened, but I haven't actually sort of curated them. It was quite funny. I'll go back up the top of the fortress. So I'll just go, yes, so slightly out of date, it says Dom UK, yes. Yes, it was. F1 just takes us to the top of the fortress. So this is the fortress we're currently playing. As I said before, it's an animating biome, which means that anything that is out here will then come back to life. If I just get rid of that one there, you can see we've got two hostiles are on the map. If I go and click on one, there's an undead bird just flying above our entrance. This is a peregrine falcon corpse, and that will, if that ends up sort of sensing the dwarves underneath it, like this one over through here, for example, this is one that hasn't been named, it will then attack that dwarf, and that's very likely to actually happen when we start playing again. So that's something that possibly will happen. A lot of the things that we see through here, we've been able to kill them off relatively easily. But we've got things, a lot of these things of animals that have come back to life that we've had to kill second and third times. We've got a second hostile, and we've also got this one as well on the other side of the map. This is also now moving in towards, across the frozen river, in towards our entrance. So we've got a few different things we now have to sort of contend with. So that's a, this one here is a lynx corpse. So these are undead lynxes, etc., etc. So see you later, battle mode. Thanks for participating and being part of it. Battle mode's got to change his name, or I've got to get rid of Nightbot. But Nightbot is what we use for the giveaways. So Nightbot's fairly important. Anyway, so the game that we've been playing, we sort of dug into this area. We've got our military now set up to always have somebody patrolling this little burial chamber that we've got at the entrance. And this burial chamber, because all of the people that have been buried in here have come back to life and have started to attack other people in the fortress. One of the funny things that actually happened was, and I'll tell you this one little story, which happened pretty much over the last 2 episodes of doing it on Twitch, was back up through here, and I think we've taken the corpse in now. There was a, back out through here, we actually had like a baroness that was part of the fortress, and orangutans had gotten the name of that particular baroness, and it became a baroness after orangutans had claimed the character. So inherited a place called Planks in here somewhere. Where was it? We're up here. This is our fortress. This is our mountain homes. It's in here somewhere. Calmplank. Oh, that's hard to say. So the Dwarven Hillocks of Calmplank. So she became the baroness of that. And just so happened that also one of the other characters that we have in the game, if I just go back into the characters and through here, was Klingzog, which is also a named character, one of the kids. So Klingzog actually got one of the children in the fortress. If we have a bit of a look, this one is just down here working in the bottom of the fortress with the animals. And so Klingzog is orangutan was the mother of Klingzog, but orangutan is now dead because it got killed by a were-skink. So a were-skink killed the mother. But we had a vote. What actually happened, if I go back up the top through here again, we had a vote while we saw the were-skink was attacking undead creatures at the bottom of the map over here somewhere. There was a whole lot of, I don't think there's any corpses left out through this side, but it was all these dead dingo corpses were actually being crushed. And so there was a were creature that had come in one of the full moons. And so it was attacking all of these. In the meantime, a hunter had killed a bear over here somewhere. And we had allowed our guys to go outside to pick up the remains so that we could actually get leather, because we needed leather for the like to build water skins and backpacks and stuff like that. And so orangutans, in this case the baroness, was dragging back towards the entrance the skin of the actual the carcass of the bear, which was so slowing her down enormously. We had a vote while the were-skink was still attacking all the undead in that corner, while orangutans was over here somewhere, just heading towards the entrance, so getting pretty close to getting home. And so we had a vote about whether we actually let her drop the skin, like drop the bear, and then get home fast, or whether we don't. And anyway, Klingzog, who was also in the chat, actually voted to kill his mother off because he thought that he would then become the next baron or baroness of Calmplank. But so it ended up, the were-skink caught her, killed her immediately, basically, straight away. There was the human hunter that had killed the bear was actually still making his way back. So the were-skink then, actually like a giant lizard, then went and attacked him as well. But just as he got to them and started fighting, the full moon then went away, and so he changed back to his normal self, and so his non-were form, and so then ran off the map. So it just a couple of turns, and the baroness would have survived. But the vote was to keep her dragging the bear carcass back towards the fortress, which allowed the were-skink to catch up. So, and Klingzog was one of the people who did vote for that. So it was quite funny actually. But then what actually happened was she was then placed in one of these coffins. That's a human bowman. There we go. Orangutan was originally put in here. So orangutan's body was put in here, but she kept on coming back to life, and she kept on attacking different people in the fortress. And at one point, the different military dwarves that we had ended up hacking off one of her arms. Then eventually, and it ended up rolling down the staircase down into here somewhere, and eventually it came back to life as well, and happened to catch Klingzog. And it did a lot of damage to her own child. It's just funny, these little stories that come up in the actual game itself. I love this game for that reason. And so Klingzog ended up having to go to the infirmary and basically get stitched up. I think Klingzog, if we have a look at Klingzog, still will have actually the leftovers from that one. If we look on name again. And I don't know if it's saying healthy now, but if we have a look at the health and look at the wounds, yeah, so this is actually what happened because his mum's arm came back and smacked him around for voting. So yeah, took his toe, there we go. So the right foot skin, the right foot ankle and muscle, the second toe right foot nail has been smashed apart but has been sutured. So the nail has been reattached, or the toe has been reattached, and so there's no other treatment needed. History back and through there. This is actually the medical history of what actually happened through there. So so we've got the different things brought to rest. So by over 8,000. So it brought Klingzog in after the arm attack. I love how the detail this is. It was evaluated by one of the jewelers, who was also one of the doctors at that stage. Was then cleaned by over 8,000. Supreme Plague, who's the chief medical dwarf, then evaluated the wounds, and then received cave spider silk sutures on the right ankle. He then actually received dressings on the right ankle. One of the fish somehow, I don't know why why Usuth would actually evaluate what was going on. Udrum was a doctor. We've now since moved that back to just purely doing jewellery. So received a cave spider silk dressing on the right foot, and received a glumprong crutch back in the 15th of limestone. So that's now, you're no longer using the crutch. If you go to description, his second toe right foot is broken, his second toe right foot is smashed open. I don't think he's using the crutch anymore. No, the crutch is no longer there. So we are getting little, it looks like we've still got blood on the right ankle, and some tears in through there as well. So anyway, Klingzog, and if we have a look at thoughts, feels hopeless dwelling upon suffering a major injury. This is all stuff that it didn't feel anything after seeing a goblin. So completely, what's the word? Got no empathy at all. A little psychopath. Voting for his mum to end up, because he thought he was going to end up being the Baron, the new Baron of Calmplank. Not to be. I don't know if it's. There was actually, if we go back to memories, I remember talking with Mother, Fright Reliving Being Haunted by the Dead. That was in 300. And it was funny because his mother was the one that inflicted it. There was actually a recent thought that actually did have that one there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there was, when it actually happened, there was actually a funny little statement that came up about the actual memory of his mother actually attacking him. Like it was actually a bit of a traumatic experience for him, which was sort of just funny. Just funny how it sort of came full circle. The tears are the little brat finally mourning the loss of their mother. Yeah, I'd say so. He was, but he voted for orangutans to end up being killed. So, but he didn't. He ended up not becoming the Baron. So he's not the Baron. He may be when he grows up, but who knows? So the Bates Motel vibe. There we go. It was really, really cool though. Anyway, I won't keep on. We've got these different lizard reptile people that haven't attacked us at all. I think they normally would. I think it might be a bug. So they've been there the whole time. We're just working our way down here without any real issues. But it's been a fun little fortress actually with the reanimation. We had a zombie that made its way back into here, and it's then ended up sort of injuring heaps of our dwarves. It actually came in from, it ended up drowning here. So this is all of the this is all stuff where a human hunter went outside, drowned, and then sort of swum its way back out across the across here. Where did it get to? Got then came through this door. I think that's, it's still passable. and then down through here. We've since put some traps in there to stop that from happening again, and then it just came into here and then started attacking. By that stage, it then found the dwarves and started to attack the dwarves. So we've had a lot of zombie attacks. Didn't get to kill anyone at that stage, which was lucky. We've only got the 2 hostiles on the map at the moment, but it's been a really fun fortress. This is a fair way down, so we're sort of down in the caverns here, but it's been really cool. So anyway, I'll be playing that one over the course of the coming months, I guess. I'll be playing at least once a week, maybe even a bit more at different times, but it's been good fun. I've got most things sort of established in the fortress now. The different industries are established all the way sort of through it. What a great game this is. It's so cool to play it. This is our military. Like I said, they're now just training. So we've got some training, some sleeping, some patrolling. So we've got them all over the place because of all the dead. So ZXM, Began for Baron or King. Yeah, so Began is, ZXM is Began. So Began's actually always got a named character in here. That's Mr. Worth. That's another one of the Barons, or Baroness. Orangutans. That's Orangutan's new character. Project Val. Where's Began? There we go. Began the Spear Dwarf. So Began the Spear Dwarf in this case, he's got 2 lovers. Is actually in the so he's now a competent Spear Dwarf, competent observer. I think it's still using swords. Yeah, battle axe actually. So Began's using a battle axe in through here. Got his dwarven rum inside the water skin. It's pretty cool. Been pretty good fun. And if we have a look at the so thoughts, yeah, learning about fighting. Yeah. So anyway, we've got a fairly functioning military at this stage. Oh, so Dom, you can't sing on orangutans. I didn't realise that. Sorry. There we go. So here we are talking about orangutans. It was such a cool little interlude. And then of course the full moon just finished just at the end of you being killed. Yeah, go back the mining pick for a spear. There we are. Yep. Yeah. So Chris is saying you don't. Just goes to show you don't need fancy graphics for a game to be fun. Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool game. But yeah, it was really funny. And there's been so many little stories like that all the way through. But that was a really funny one with Klingzong and orangutans. And with orangutan's arm coming back and sort of and basically breaking the foot of a child as payback. It just it's pretty cool. Anyway, let's quit without saving. So yep, we'll just do that. And so that will be. I'm going to try to do them on Fridays on Twitch. And again, Twitch just allows me to do the banning, which is great. Probably not great for you guys, but it's fun for me. So anyway, let's go in and do the marble run. So we use Nightbot. And just get in there, just get a list. Just go to giveaways. Yep, send a message containing win in the chat to enter the giveaway. So just if you type in win. So Glorious Companions will be the giveaway for today. Yeah, orangutans or Dom UK said I arrived just as the vote was closed. Yes, that's right, because he got to see the outcome, but yeah, didn't realise actually. Yeah, so if you can just go through, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, keyword giveaway. Just go next. Yep, that's all okay. Just go next. And just click on done. Is that going to work? Hopefully it'll work. I'll just go and look for Dave. Dave, you might need to do it again. Serenity. Yeah, if you did it early, maybe just sort of do it again if you wouldn't mind. So we'll just get the words in there. I'll start to get Marbles on Stream set up just while that's coming in. And then we'll just double check. So the very first ones, like Dave, I don't think came through. Not sure about Serenity. Dom UK I did see in there. So I think that was while I was looking at the settings. Here we go, Dave's back in there now. Serenity, I don't think you're in there anymore because... Oh, yeah, there you are down the bottom there. That's okay. All right, that's cool. That's good. That's good. If you do it a second or a third time, it really won't matter. So feel free. Just if you're unsure, if you're not seeing yourself in the names, then just type it in again, just to make sure that you're in there. We'll go back to Marbles on Stream. Just go continue. Now I have to set up the original, like all of the players in here. So we're just going to go into. Let's see, it's now different again. Clear that one. I'll just move back out again, and I will get Sublime Text. Just cancel that one for a second. Sorry, guys. I've got to keep the. Actually, I think I may have saved the way of doing this stuff. If I just go across to the open recent, hopefully it'll be there. Marble names. All right, let's have a quick look across and see if this will now work. So we'll go back into the list. So only 22, so that's actually okay. We'll just go and copy all the eligible entries. All been copied. I see JKS has come back in. I'll just see if that will load in properly. 23. Okay, I'll do the copy now. So, and Peter Johnson, I don't know if you're in there now. See, that's 24. Okay, so we'll now close it off. Copy the eligible entries. They're going in, and hopefully this will then work. I've forgotten what coding I need to use in through here. I do actually have, if I go to find and replace, yep, so I've got the code there to get rid of, to strip out that code there. Replace all, done, good. Okay, that's done. Okay, that's nice. So I think I saved that in my other notes, just so I can actually always just bring that one back in. So we'll save that, and that was 24. So good luck, everyone. Oh, Mike, are you in there? Yeah, you are. You're already there. Oh, 25. No, you're in there twice. Why is there two mics? Is there a different mic? It's in there twice, so 24 will do. Not sure why it's done that, actually. That should have known to filter those out. This is two people called Mike. All right, let's continue on. So we'll, so, yeah, God, if it is two mics, can it be two mics? I don't know if it can. It is two mics. All right. Now, there's one mic with just an M in the chat, and there's one mic there. Yeah, there's two mics. There's another mic with a little monster. I'm gonna keep Mike with the M as just Mike, and Mike with the monster as Monster Mike. I'm going to change your name if that's okay. 26 entries. Okay, let's just go and grab this again. We'll start again. Copy the eligible entries. And I got rid of it, sorry. Sublime Text. Control V. Find. So Mike, the mic that just said O, you're just going to be Mike. So I'm glad we checked that, because yeah, otherwise, if one of you two mics wins, that could have been a bit of a disaster. So we'll just go and replace all. So this will be a Monster Mic. Okay, so Monster Mic has got the icon of the monster. Okay. Monster Mic. So that's Monster Mic, and Mike M. We'll just call it that way, just so we know the two different mics. I've never had that happen before, so this is a first for me. So I've got two with the same name. Now I'm now having a look to see if there's. I mean, and it may have happened in the past. I'm just not aware of it. So anyway, so that's all good. So we've got those in through there. Yeah, I think if it ever happens again in the future, I'll just make sure that it's the. Like, as long as it's the same colour and letters and so on and so forth, we should be okay. All right, so that's now been done. Go back to marbles. So good luck, everyone. We're going to open up marble names. Oh, who's that? That was Cookie. I'll just call it Cookie. All right. Monster Mike, we've got Mike in. We've got everyone there as well. Sometimes if it's unusual characters, I can see they're a different font. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So I'll just finish that one. Go back to Grand Prix. We go bots 24. And we're going to play 3 maps. It's just going to be random, so we'll autofill. There we go, Racing Abyss Activity, Abyss Adventure, and Clean Up Cliffs. This sounds like it's going to be fairly brutal, I would say. So that last one's going to be really fast. Let's ditch that one and autofill again. Yeah, that's better. Better, that's unconventional sly adventure. 20 seconds is a bit too short. 25 or 26. 25 actually, isn't it? It's 25. Thank you for that. It is bots. Yes, that is true. Let me have a double check of that one. I'm screwing this up badly. What have we got? We've got 26. 26, okay. All right, 26 it is. Thank you for that. All right, good luck everyone. So the prize is Glorious Companions, which is, I had a real lot of fun playing that, I've got to say. Both single player and multiplayer, I found it really quite enjoyable. All right, here we go. ZXM needs bombs and flying marbles to make it exciting. Yeah, that's saying it's what's required. It's sort of, yeah, it's one of those things that would be cool if there was some way of doing interaction, but it's in one sense it wouldn't be fair. All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. All right, okay, so start. And we'll just get into here. So this one, it looks familiar vaguely. There's no real dangers there by the looks of things. Who's the first one through? Looks like Chris C. Monster Mike I can see up through there. So Chris C seems to be up there. We've got Blink or Bink, Bijink. We'll see when people actually come through this next little loop in through here. So it's Monster Mike out in front, I think. Chris C is the first one, then Monster Mike, then Bijink, then Matthew. Monster Mike seems to have taken a bit of a lead here. Straight through, yes, you are definitely out in the lead. Matthew Logan coming in second now, I think. Bajink is up coming through. Chris C, Jord. Monster Mike, the first one down into this particular area. No, the first one through is Bajink. And Giza Zone now has hit the lead. So they're both sort of now moving their way through. We've got the Giza Zone out in front. Bajink coming in second. Monster Mike coming in third. Garatian, Dave Flute, Chris, Matthew, Jord. Going around through the loops. I think Giza Zone will still be out in front. Through here, this is where it may get a bit interesting. There's still a fair bit to go. Still anybody's game, except for, who's coming last? Bilko. Except for Bilko, it's not your game. Okay, Giza Zone just in front of Bajink, Monster Mike, Garatian, Matthew, Chris, Dave Flute. The first 10 finishes do get extra points. And then if you finish, you do get 1 point. So Giza Zone out in front. Bajink has actually taken a different route and still is behind. Garatian has now hit the front and got a big boost there. Bajink has now hit second place, I think. So we've got Garatian out in front, coming down through the loop. Monster Mike coming in second by the looks of things. Yep, followed by Tiny Mutant Squid, is it? No, Dave. Dave Flute, Chris C, Giza Zone, Garatian. Who's the first one out? Who's the first one out? Garatian is the first one out. Monster Mike coming in second. Then we've got a fairly big gap now to Dave, Giza Zone, and Chris C all together. Jord coming in sixth. Matthew Logan coming in seventh. Bajink eighth. Cookie ninth. It's a bit of a change as we come around this one. This is where we're going to start to see some action. So this is where we're going to start to see people falling off the map. This could be fun. Garatian is not through. Monster Mike is straight through. Lucky for you. I'll keep on watching down this area. We've now got, this is where we should have some people get pushed off, I would think. Anyway, let's have to, yeah, there we go. Tiny Mutant Squid is gone. See you later. Okay, so Tiny Mutant Squid, the first one out. Dom UK is also out. And Monster Mike is out as well. There's been another trap here somewhere as well. So looks like we've got Garatian and Jord and ZXM now coming back through. Chris is gone. So there is actually a hole in here somewhere. So yeah, Chris Reed is gone. Bilko is gone. The carnage. They're all failing. Lewis is down. Jord is way out in front here. Now, how do you get so far out in front? Sometimes you can be bounced off and then end up hitting the front of the map. Jord, I think, has made it through. So Jord is going to be our winner, possibly by a lucky ejection that pushed it to the front. So there we go. First place is Jord. So what a big comeback from behind. Dave Flute coming in second place. Garatian, still got 50 seconds before the map explodes. So Dave is coming back through. Garatian zipping straight through, straight past to get second place. Here comes a whole heap. Mike M now back on the list. ZXM and Gyrox back in through there as well. Okay, then we've got Matthew and Cookie coming straight through this little area. So if you want to be 10th place at this point in time, because you get 10 points for coming in 10th. So it's one of these two. So it's going to be Peter Johnson will get the 10th. Wow, there we go. So the others will then just get like a couple of points or 1 point, really. It's everyone done, I think. There we go. Okay, the winner was Jord. Congratulations. That's the first one. When we have a bit of the final results, this is not accurate, but if we go across to Grand Prix, we can then sort of see so far. So 20 points to Jord, 15 to Garatian, 12 to Dave. Peter and Mike M are both on 10 points. Gyrox on 8. ZXM or Began is on 7. Matthew on 6. Cookie 5. And so on and so forth. And then the ones that didn't finish are on 0. So that's where we are currently. So we'll play the next map. All right, so now Abyss Adventure. This does sound like there's not going to be very many finishes here. It's all skill, says George. Yes, it is indeed. Okay, so we'll get started. Around we go. Is this a dangerous map? It looks like it is. Yes, it does look indeed like it's dangerous. There's a portal at the back end there once they go down through here, and that means that they should end up popping up over here somewhere, I think. So I'm expecting, we'll wait until we see the first. Oh, Jord is the first one through. Here they all come. Everyone's now screaming through. Jord's still out in front, but has got a lot of other players in around them. Garatian is... No, it's still Jord out in front through here. This will mix things up a little bit. So great start to the next run. Garatian's first one down. Peter Johnson, JKS, Serenity. So Jord is still up in the loop there, I think. So Garatian is the first one into this next phase. Peter, JKS, Louise, Ping Pong, Original Intent, Mike, there's Jord now, got Geezer's Zone. Let's wait for them to come back down through this other side. We've got another portal. Where do we go next? I'm going to just go and pick one of these players. Oops, hang on, we'll just go back and choose one of the ones that are coming through this loop. Bilko, I'll follow Bilko until we get closer. Here we go. I'm just choosing Maladroit. So this is actually now going back through the finish line coming in, and actually Serenity is finished. Original Intent, Gyrox, Matthew, Mike, Maladroit, ZXM, Chris, Monster Mike coming back in. No, Monster Mike didn't make it through there. Kelrash is 9th, and 10th is Dave. Okay, so that was interesting actually. It's what happened? Did Jord fall off the map? Is that what actually happened? No, there's still actually a heap back over here. I don't think anyone's fallen off, have they? Yeah, no, Jord's still there, and the others are now waiting to come through up there. So, yeah, the others are now sort of making their way down through the final loop to get to the finish line. There we go. Duran actually ended up failing. Now it's the end of the map. There we go. So a lot of people didn't make it in the end. Go to final results. Let's press escape. So when we have a look at the Grand Prix now, the current runnings are Dave out in front with 22 points. George still on 20. Didn't get any extra points that last run. Then we've got another one. We've got 3 on 20. We've got Gorox, and Serenity all on 20 at this point in time, with being the winner of that particular round. Mike is 18 and 16 down through the other list through there. So that's the list where we currently are. A few of you are not going to be able to get the 20. What do we need? 23 points to win it if everyone else gets 0. So some of you cannot win. But most of you still can. There's still a lot in through here that's really anybody's game. Really anywhere from the top 10 or so. Top 10 or 10 are in the running here. So let's go to the last map. So next map. Unconventional Sly Adventure. No idea what this one is either. So Dom UK saying we're enjoying the journey, not in a rush. Damn it, dead in 2 out of 2. You know, we've got that 3 points can win. Well, this one sounds like it could be anything, doesn't it, really? So we're starting through here. Are people going to fall off here or not? It looks pretty dangerous. The Maladroit coming back through. Where's the finish line? I don't know where the finish line is. I think what we'll do is we'll take the second place when we start to come back through here. So JKS, here comes Dom UK. Let's just go and follow Dom UK and just see what actually happens. So you get picked up in through here. All right, this looks pretty cool. So it's Dom UK and Ping Pong out in the front. Get dropped off in there. Dom UK definitely out in the lead now. So we'll just keep on following Dom UK as we go up. It's an interesting way of sorting the numbers, actually. Wow, got picked up straight away. Yeah, these are all. It's a bit easy. This middle one. This one here will have a bit of a delay. Yeah, some of them are struggling at the back there. Oh, wow, got picked up straight away again. And yeah, I think if you're in lots of 2s, you're actually pretty safe up in this instance. But there's still a fair way to go, I think. So that's not the finish, surely, is it? It is the finish. Okay, so Dom UK finished. All right, so in that case, it's just whoever goes in through here. Duration. Everyone's just finishing very, very... Okay, that was a bit too easy, wasn't it? But it is what it is. It is what it is. So everyone's finishing again. Monster Mike is in the position to get the 10th place. Will it happen? No, it won't. Yes, it will. So Monster Mike does get 10th to get the extra 10 points. So we'll just let everyone sort of dribble on into the finish line. That's a very weird little finish line, that one. The way that one sort of works. I was sure there was going to be people missing out on that one. Still 15 seconds before the map explodes. Right, we'll just skip past the information about it, and we'll just go straight. There we go. Actually, so yeah, a few of you didn't make it. So, Bajink, Chris, yeah, a whole lot of you didn't actually make it there at the end. They ran out of time. So, final results. Let's have a look and see what actually happens here. We won't look at that. We're just going to go straight to finish the Grand Prix to see who the winner is. We'll have a look at the score as well at the end, just in case there was a draw. If there's a draw, we'll have a bit of a playoff between the two players. So in third place we have, drum roll, Dave Flute came in third. Okay, second place is Gyrox, and first place is Garatian. So Garatian, congratulations. We're just going to double check though. You've won by 1 point. Well done. Okay, so 31 points. That's a low scoring finish to very very close. So you won by 1 single point. So Garatian, if you can please send me an email to daz@daztactic.com. Daztactic.com. There we are. Oops, that's a comma there, but that's the so daz@daztactic.com will then if you can email me, I can then send you the key, and that would be for Glorious Companions. And as I say, it was a game that I really did quite enjoy. I've got to say, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would with that particular game. So so Garatian saying, the heck didn't I win last week? Is that okay? Did you win last week? I can't remember who actually won last week. I know we had 3 winners. So we had a lot of winners last week. It is okay, yeah. It's okay to win. It's okay to win. So you can win as many times as you like. It's all just luck of the draw. So, but congratulations. That's all. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you won Glorious Companions last time. Okay, so it was last week that you actually won it, because that was when we were giving them away. So you keep the key. Well, should I give it to Gyrox? Are you happy for me to give it to second place? It's big of you. I'll roll it over for next week. I could do it that way. Garatian, it's your key, so you can decide whether we roll it over or Gyrox could grab it if Gyrox wants it. Whichever way you want to go, I really don't mind. So yeah, just let me know which way you want to go with that one. So at the moment it's keep the key, so we can sort of roll it into next week. Yeah, Dom UK saying roll over for next week. Let's just do it that way. Okay, Gyrox can have it. There we go. So Garatian is giving it to Gyrox. Gyrox, if you can email me please to daz@daztactic.com, I can then send you out that key. So that's actually very very cool. So congratulations, Gyrox. He's here all the time. They deserve it, says Garatian. Yes, that's very very true. That is true. So very much a regular. Very nice of you, says ZXM. Yes, absolutely. So, okay, well, Gyrox, if you could actually please email me, I can get that key out to you. So that would be cool. That's great. Okay, that's awesome. Gyrox saying thanks for the game. It'll be fun to try. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Like it's actually there's a lot more to it than you actually think there is when you first look at it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Okay, that was good. We did it. That was 3 hours. So it was a fairly long session today, and we weren't in any great rush. I think I might try to have that as my starting time, but just so I don't have to rush through. I find that 2 hours, when I'm trying to do it in 2 hours, it's I can't go off on tangents too much, which is probably a good thing actually. So, but anyway, 3 hours should be fine. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.